What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Play by Play podcast. I'm joined by my fellow co-hosts, Alex. We got Brian, we got Cody, and myself, Andrew. Let's start off with some baseball today. We just got the Cody Bellinger trade. I'd like to see your thoughts, Cody, as a Dodger fan. What do you think?
As a former Dodger fan, I'm glad he's still wanted. I mean, obviously, we got to see Pete Cody Bellinger. It almost feels so long. It's like 8 years ago now, which is insane to think about. But this is in my opinion, a massive deal for the Yankees. They're paying very little for somebody who could provide above average defense and hopefully above average hitting, being a lefty hitter playing in New York now. So I think this is a huge deal. They didn't give up a lot. They're paying that $5 million for what you were saying is probably going to be the opt-out. And they gave up Cody Poteet, who's just a relief pitcher, who maybe Cubs try to make a starter. But it seems like a huge deal for the Yankees, in my opinion.
I think it was, I almost want to say that, I mean, I don't know where the Cubs want to go because they made a big signing last week and then they kind of trade away one of their bigger stars this week. I'm not sure which direction they really think they're going, but also no one's going to hate the Yankees. There's probably people that hate the Yankees more than me, but I'm certainly up there. But the Yankees are good when they have good left-handed hitting. They need to utilize that.
Yeah.
Porch in right field, and Cody Bellinger can definitely do that. I don't think anybody's questioned his power, even though obviously the numbers have fallen off. The power's always been there, and the fact that he can hit pop-ups that are now going to go out just because he's so strong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look back at the Yankees, you have lefties like Robinson Cano. I mean,
Didi Gregorius,
Matsui, and Curtis Granderson hit 46 home runs or something like that too. So, I mean, they're good when they have good left-handed hitting, and if they can have good power behind Judge, because now before this last year, there was power in front of him because Soto hit in front of him. Yeah. It looks like they're really starting to try to go the other direction instead of putting people that can get on base for Judge. They're looking at the option of, hey, maybe if we put two guys that can hit the ball out of the park behind Judge, they can't pitch around him. So now you're going to have to pitch to him, and he's obviously probably the best hitter in the MLB. So
I like the deal. I guess to piggyback off the Cubs side, I think now it's important to look at what they do with the money that they just got back. Yeah. So obviously Tucker isn't making as much as Bellinger is, but I think it's important to see if maybe they go get a Flaherty, just to add to that starting rotation. And I think it's a very winnable division.
Oh, so definitely.
I was thinking the same thing.
And I think you finally got a superstar who I think top 10 player in the MLB.
With Tuck?
Yeah, Tucker. And it's a wide open division, and you look at the teams all in there, they probably got worse. Milwaukee, who won the division last year, they've only gotten worse. They just traded their closer.
Yeah, and they got rid of a GOAT starting pitcher.
So, for me, the Cubs, I think now you're going to see it, and maybe they do. Maybe they don't get Jack Flaherty per se, but you definitely got to see some other additions, probably to whether it's the bullpen. Maybe they go get a guy like Estevez now, who I think would be a good fit for them. But you definitely got to see them put that money where it was probably better suited, whereas the position players for them look pretty solid right now. So now you got to see it put into the pitching.
So now that I think about it, though, like obviously Bellinger, when's his contract? He has an opt-out after this year.
Yeah.
Right? I think you would almost assume that he was going to opt out. I'm assuming
that's probably
he probably told the Cubs already, I'm going to opt out of my contract. And Tuck's contract is up after this year, right? So I'm assuming that they were like, hey, we're going to have to get something for Cody because we're not going to resign him. Let's get something for him. Yeah. And we're going to try. I would assume the only reason they traded Bellinger is because they're going to go out to make sure that Tuck stays not an Astro, a
Cub now. Yeah.
Yeah, which is really, really weird. I honestly didn't think that Kyle Tucker, first of all, I don't know why the Astros got rid of him. I mean, I understand they don't like paying guys.
Just the money.
I know.
That's what it comes down to.
I know. But I understand they don't like paying guys, but
unless they're 5'5". They do love Jose Altuve.
Well, they also do love Jordan Alvarez.
That is true. Yeah.
But he's on a pretty team friendly deal, right?
And that's really where they get their guys.
That's true. They're kind of like the Braves. Although the Braves will fork out money, they have a lot of stars on team friendly deals. And Tuck got so big so fast, so good so fast that it was kind of like almost like the Braves, why they let Fried walk. is because Fried was so good so fast.
Yeah.
He turned down the
team friendly deal.
the team friendly deal, the player fucking deal.
Yeah.
And now he was like, I deserve more money. And the Braves were like, no, Willis. I think that's the same thing with the Astros. Although Tuck's kind of one of those guys I feel like you should definitely fork over the rest of your money you have for.
I agree. I just, it makes me wonder that if you're doing this, why not trade for Amber Valdez while you're at it?
Yeah.
Because he's another guy. We just saw what Blake Snell got. We just saw what Fried got.
Is he up after this year?
Yeah. He's another guy up after this year.
Maybe they feel like they want to keep because they've always had good core starting pitching.
Yeah.
So maybe they feel like that's their road to the postseason.
Try to re-sign him after this year, maybe?
Yeah. And so, I mean, and you always want to say, like, the Astros, it almost seems like they're like the Chiefs or the old Patriots, where they just got to get to the postseason, and then all of a sudden they're the best team in the MLB. And it doesn't matter if they limped their way to the postseason or, get there. Like, almost both times they've won a World Series. They were dominant the entire year and won the World Series. And then I believe they won in 2019.
17 and 22.
Didn't they limp their way into the playoffs?
2019, they lost the Nats.
Yeah. Okay, but didn't they okay, I'm not going to say the year, but if I remember correctly, one of the years they won the division. The division wasn't great, but they won the division and everybody was like, oh, they're not going to be competitive. Oh, so World Series. So I mean,
sounds like 2019.
I think that was their most recent one.
2022 could be.
Yeah, because I think for sure before that was when they kind of had that superstar team, the one that cheated, but the one that was.
They were also very good. I saw that lineup on a screenshot the other day. I was like, holy shit, this team was real good.
And they got paid.
And that's when Carlos Correa remembered how to hit a baseball.
So, Carlos Correa had a great.
He just has bum ankles, so
he does. Well, thankfully, also the Mets didn't keep the contract because they were used the money this year. So
for who?
Soto.
Oh,
because the Mets had that. They had the deal with Correa,
but
they failed the physical, which was kind of dumb. But I know we're going on a tangent, but it was kind of dumb because he failed the physical with the Giants, and the Mets were like, "We can heal him."
So, let our trainers take a look.
Let us take a look, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, actually his ankle's pretty fucked." And then we're not doing the contract. It's like, okay,
they wanted to be the second opinion.
Well, I guess like you see it and you're like, oh, we have a shot at him now. Maybe it's not that bad.
Yeah, you can get him at a discount now.
Discount or like something where he's out for like 2 months or whatever. You're gonna sign him for 10 years. 2 months isn't that big of a deal, but then you're like, ooh, maybe like down the future in like 5 years, they're like, he can only DH or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, because shortstop's obviously a premium physical condition.
Yeah, I was gonna say a shift to third. I think would be pretty in his near future. I would say.
Well, but they have Lewis that plays third, right? If he can ever stay healthy, doesn't he play third?
Royce Lewis does play third. Royce Lewis is he's in my opinion, a top 20 hitter in baseball who just cannot play more than 20 games. So, Royce,
good numbers for that.
Royce looks like he's going to start DHing a lot more. So then maybe you could move Correa over to third.
Man,
yeah,
he needs to.
Huh?
It is the most depressing thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
All right, so I got something for you guys. Going on my phone. No, we're not going to do all 100 because we don't have all night and on tomorrow. But they're I don't know what database or we were talking about before, what website this is, but this is the projected top 100 players heading into 2025. And I have a few people here that I kind of want to talk to you about. Some people too high, some people too low, that I'm curious to see your takes. So leading us off, we'll start with number 100 with Austin Wells, the catcher for the Yankees. Listen, I didn't really watch much of Austin Wells, but at least from my personal opinion, I want to see your guys. I think that's a little too high to put him in the top 100 players in the MLB.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm okay with it.
Okay.
And here's the thing: is he's playing good catcher. He hit above average for a rookie, and 100 is a lot of people. So if you start looking around and picking through your 90 through 120, you can make a case for any catcher to kind of be in that top 100. And he's 100, right? He's somebody who just finished top 3 in Rookie of the Year, so he's coming off something that's important, right? So he did something good, and he's playing that premium position for a premium team. So I'm honestly okay with him making that top 100.
They did put him as the 6th best catcher in the MLB. at least.
I'd have to think about it. 6 seems really high for Austin Wells.
I'm sure the
But-
offense is really what gets him.
But yes,
Probably.
he's a catcher who plays above average.
I will say that one of the other people we want to talk about is near and dear to my heart. But
That's
It's
I want to hear
awesome.
who that person is.
all right, so at 98, this is somebody I thought was too low. That's because he puts up insane offensive numbers. Still a free agent, Anthony Santander.
Ooh,
I know he plays probably subpar defense, but
yeah.
what do you think, AJ, Anthony Santander?
Man, I think it's really going to depend on where he lands in free agency. If you see him go to a really hitter-friendly ballpark, like if we see him in New York, just for instance,
Yeah, with the Mets. Yeah, I got you.
if we see him with the Yankees, I love his numbers there. But you start to see him maybe go to a field that doesn't play too well for a lefty, like Safeco maybe, or T-Mobile now. Sorry,
Yeah.
but Seattle. I think we can see the numbers. I think that's where teams maybe they can move guys around a little bit. But I don't know. I feel like that's a little low. I know he hit 41 homers last year.
Yeah.
So
Right,
I
yeah.
mean, and that's in Camden Yards. I know that's not as bad for the lefties as it is for the righties. But I wouldn't say that's an easy ballpark to hit in anymore. So, but I guess it just depends where he falls
That's
as
fair.
far as in free agency.
Well, also, but Dodger Stadium isn't that easy of a place to hit out of. But we all know if you went to the Dodgers, he had 50 home runs. It's just kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
Love it. I would love it. But we need Teo back. So hopefully Teo's listening. We
Did
need
you
him
see
back.
that?
Theo Oscar.
Theo Oscar, yeah, you saw that? You saw that when he only had the mustache?
That is
That was
tough.
horrifying.
Dude, that's the tangent again, but that's the stupidest rule in baseball.
Yeah.
I saw a thing that Brandon Marsh might go to the Yankees, and so they shaved his head. And
Oh,
got it.
bro.
Gross.
Listen, Brandon Marsh, no
That's
offense,
gross.
you look gross.
No, he's one of those guys that would for sure
Not go.
Not
doing
even. Nope. Don't. Not even on my top 10 of where to
I
go.
mean, we saw Verdugo. Now imagine Brandon Marsh. Verdugo looked.
I mean, look
Gross.
at how
And
much
sometimes
aura
even-
Devin Williams is gonna lose.
Yeah, I know.
That one's
Like-
unfortunate too.
Like it's
Yeah.
just so funny how some of these guys just have literally like stubble, or
Yeah.
so that's like something that shows. But it's just like it makes such a difference with a lot of these guys. Like I saw a thing of Kyle Tucker when it was talked about him going to the Yankees. He was like looked like he was about 12. It's like man,
Even
that kinda sucks.
Rodon just looks gross now. He's
Yeah,
really-
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what, Garrett Cole looks weird too. I can't.
I'm a fan of mustache. Every
Austin,
Yankees
I will
player,
tell you what, I will tell
every
you what,
Yankees
I
player
didn't
should
think
just
Austin
grow the
was-
mustache.
I didn't
That's
think
the
Austin
Commit
was-
to the
yeah.
one,
Commit.
just
I need a
commit to the
full
full
26 man
mustache.
roster of mustache
Mustache.
because you look terrible clean shaven. Just go full
Yeah,
26 man
I
mustache.
will tell you, I did think that Austin Wells was too high when it comes to the top 100, but he has a top 1.
Yeah, elite
mustache
stash,
in
and
the
that
MLB.
that's full commitment. We need it. We need it.
All right, next guy. This is the first guy a little bit near and dear to my heart. Obviously, on my favorite team. I think he's too low, in my opinion, although he didn't play majority of last year. Kodai Senga is 87, and he's the 29th ranked pitcher in the MLB coming into this year. He played he started one regular season
Yeah.
game, I guess. But when we go down this list, you'll notice there are a lot of pitchers that might not even pitch last year. I know
Yeah.
I know a person in the top 10 of this that didn't throw a ball last year.
Sandy.
And but
Go.
also didn't pitch majority of the year before that as well.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Interesting.
My goat. But
Oh,
still
my
probably a little too.
That was probably just recency bias through 6 innings. You can't freak out
He was
about it.
electric for 6.
He was, yeah. But a lower half injury, I don't know. It's almost we're at a point where like Tommy John, we don't care. So that's probably why your goat's still ranked really high. Whereas Kodai's having lower body injuries. That's where he's planting. That's where he's pushing off.
Yeah.
Maybe that's kind of why, because it was I think it was a calf strain.
Yeah.
So-
it's calf.
Maybe that's why it's recency bias. I mean, Kodai has what it takes. He's also now past 30, so I don't know. Maybe it's just
Maybe.
recency bias.
Long
But he's-
season.
He can easily, change that narrative, be top 10, top 15 pitcher. No
Just
problem.
gotta stay healthy.
Yeah. Well, health wasn't the problem the first year, and then he had a little bit of shoulder problem. That was his
Started the year shoulder
problem.
Yeah.
And then he had the calf strain. To be honest, he probably, if the Mets, this is gonna sound really weird, but I know you guys all know how the Mets season went last year. If the Mets started good, he probably would have come back earlier,
Yeah.
but they didn't, and so they probably let him sit out for quite some time. And then when they were, the best team in baseball for that long stretch, they were like, "Oh shit, maybe we should pitch Kodai," and then he popped his calf. But yeah, you
It's
only
unfortunate.
need your elbow to throw, but it's not that big of a deal. If
Yeah.
you have Tommy John. But I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
The next guy, I think, I think this is to be honest with you, I think he should definitely be in the 90s. And in my personal opinion, this doesn't really make much sense because there's 2 guys on here that both say position rank 4 and they play the same position. So Patrick Bailey, who is really good, certainly defensively, is at 85, ranked projected 4. And then Francisco Alvarez is 81, also projected to be the 4th best catcher in the MLB. So he's good at framing, can't block. The power is hit or miss.
Yeah.
I just don't see how he could be. I understand catchers is a premium position where there's only a few good ones, but I couldn't realistically, after the year that he just had, realistically put him 4th when it comes to
4th at the position.
At the position.
Did they give their projected WAR? I'm curious if maybe their WAR was the same.
3.6 and Patrick Bailey's was 4.5. So it's not even close.
I don't know. We're gonna have to check Brian's sources. I think we're gonna check his sources.
Hey,
but
listen, this is just. Don't sue me.
I won't. We'll hunt
Twitter.
the sources down, but I do want to talk. It does feel like 2 different spectrum of catchers who could end up giving you the same WAR. That's why I was curious because if you love baseball like I do, and I caught watching Patrick Bailey is
so
like,
good.
Dude's a freak.
It's crazy. He's so good.
So good.
The smoothest catcher, elite arm, and he's not going to hurt you defensively. Like we've seen elite catchers. Most recent, we have Austin Hedges, who he's so bad at hitting. He gets like a full team to run out of the dugout when he hits a home run. But then you have somebody like Francisco Alvarez, who we've seen kind of struggle, but plus arm and plus power. And so it's just going to be, can Francisco Alvarez limit those stretches of 0 for 20s that he goes on?
Oh, a lot of them do.
You'll look and you're like, oh my God, Francisco Alvarez just hit 4 home runs in a row. And then you check back in 2 weeks and his average is back below 200. It's because he goes in those streaky stretches. So Patrick Bailey's somebody guaranteed going to be top 5 catcher because defense plays. And every defensive catcher we've ever seen stays pretty much good at defense their entire career.
And I think that you're giving it's really weird to kind of rate Francisco Alvarez when it comes to WAR because he's either up here or down here. Like defensively, he's up in the 90th percentile of catchers for framing, but literally almost every other metric.
He can stick it.
He can stick it, and
just don't bounce the ball.
The Mets are very slow to get to home plate, so he almost never really has a shot to throw out people. That's just kind of how it is. They're notoriously slow. Whenever you have Adam Ottavino on your team, you're never going to be able to throw people out. So the throwing down to second stolen bases are high for him. But yeah, you're right. Like Francisco Alvarez will go 2 weeks, hit like 430, a slug for like 650, and then the 3 weeks. Then you check back 3 weeks later after that, and he's 2 for 45. And they're like 2 jam shot bloop singles. There's no doubt he's strong, but he needs to kind of figure out I wouldn't mind if he just stayed not mediocre because you always want your players to be really good, but just consistent the entire year. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a season where he did 30 home runs.
Oh, he should. He 100% should be a 30 home run catcher. Go up there with Cal Ridley, right? He should be up there, but we'll see. See if he can stay consistent enough.
All right, so these are a little interesting. There are some people in here that at least right here, I don't know if they're too low, too high. I think they might belong right where they are. We have at 69, nice, CJ Abrams.
Ooh.
Just keep him out of the casino. We're good.
He might even go up from there.
Yeah, he might. You want to talk about a little bit more recency bias, in my opinion, just because they had just because of the team I watched most. They had Pete Alonso in the 70s.
Yeah.
Mark Vientos is 67.
Vientos race.
I know.
Like
he doesn't play first as of yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, as of yet.
They're waiting to see what Pete does. Yeah.
And then Luis Castillo at 66.
Oof.
I like Luis Castillo. I don't know, 66. I'm not sure if that's too high, too low. I think the reason that I think he might be a little too high or a little too low means that he's probably
Right where he should be.
Kind of right where he belongs.
I would say that's a good spot for him.
And then I kind of skipped over him, but Byron Buxton at 70.
Premium position.
It is the premium position. That's probably what's helping him. But he's another, when we talked about Royce Lewis earlier, he wasn't the same way where I think 2 years ago they said, no, you're not going to play defense. And what did Buxton do? He went and got hurt. So it didn't matter. So like, okay, go back to center field. And then he gets hurt again. So it is the premium position. It's going to be a what if. It's going to be a what if forever.
Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I lost the tweet.
That's unfortunate.
And that's it.
That's got to be it.
Well, I mean, while he looks for it, I want to say something about C.J. Abrams.
Go ahead.
Because C.J. Abrams burst onto the scene last year. I mean, if you're a baseball fan, you know who C.J. Abrams is. You remember him coming up on the Padres. But what he did to start the year last year, it was like, we have the new best shortstop in baseball. And I think that start was so good. If you went and checked what C.J. Abrams actually did last year, it is not good. He did not have a good year. He did not play good shortstop. He hit a decent amount of home runs, but a lot of that came in the first half. So I think because of how many great shortstops we have, CJ should not be that high. I think he said he was 69 for CJ Abrams.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's no shot he should be that high, especially for how many shortstops we have that are elite shortstops.
When you find it, where is he in shortstop rank? Like,
yeah, I was gonna say that might be a
number?
better.
I hope he's outside the top. I could probably name 10 shortstops better than CJ Abrams.
Also,
I'll put Zach Neto above him. I'll put Zach
Ooh,
Neto above
Zach
him for
Neto's
sure.
Talk to me.
Zach Neto. Zach
I
Neto.
like that.
I like Zach Neto.
Zach
though.
Neto's a dog.
He's probably 10,
I
but
like
I'll put him.
Zach
I'll
Neto,
put him above.
I like Zach Neto a lot though. Zach Neto's
Give me that leg kick.
I personally like him a lot.
Yeah.
CJ Abrams, what did I say he was?
Ranked 69th. We're curious where he is with shortstop.
Oh, geez. Well, while I look that up.
From now on, we're printing out lists
Yeah,
and we're
Well, so the problem is,
bookmarking tweets.
I can't really show anybody else, but like they did it, but they did it as individual tweets, not as a thread.
Bruh.
So in their timelines all fucked up.
Terrible source. Terrible source.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, I was gonna do research. Unfortunately, they do not have the ranking for these guys.
Well, I'm sure we can
on
assume
here.
this guy was number one.
Michael?
No,
Cody Reitmeyer?
Cody Reimer. No, Shohei Ohtani
Oh,
was number one.
He's pitching. I
Dodger
I
fans
am
have no
so
idea what they're in
excited.
for.
am so. Well, here's the thing: is I've been called an Angels fan the last 7 years because of how much Shohei Ohtani I've watched. So I know exactly what I'm in for, and I've never been more excited for baseball.
I know, but I'm saying like the casual Dodger fan who
Oh,
just
they
watches
must,
the game and sees, oh my god, Shohei hit another homer. Wait until this guy pitches.
Here's the problem: is
Unbelievable.
that
Shohei
stadium's
so
gonna be
good.
raw.
Aura.
Shohei's going to have, because he did it on the Angels a lot. He still finished sub-3 ERA, but he gets gassed. He pitches a lot. He's going to have his 6 innings, 6-walk game, and Dodgers going to be like, we can't pitch him. Why are we pitching him? He was so good. But you just got to take what you get. Like,
And it's a long season.
yeah, exactly. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
So
You gotta
so,
run into those rough ones, but
Totally okay with it.
So according to this, CJ Abrams is the 17th ranked shortstop.
Oh, they love shortstops
Zach
on this
Neto was
list.
16.
I don't know if I can name 16 shortstops better than him.
Corey Seager was
Number one.
I'm okay with that.
okay.
over
that
Bobby
fucker.
Witt Gunner.
Oh, wait, just kidding.
I'm
Just kidding.
saying the defense,
I take it
that's
back.
crazy.
Sorry. I just remember he hit like 340 2 years ago. But Bobby Witt's number one for
To be
sure.
fair though,
Flashbacks
they
to
must have
2020.
something deep in their heart for like I don't know, people that are just stereotypical. I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Tell me Bo's higher than Zach Neto right now.
Oh, Bichette?
Bo's got some top 10.
So, I apologize.
That's on me. That's on me.
He lost his aura with his haircut.
No way. I like the haircut more.
Ew.
Kyle Schwarber 65. I feel like that's because he DHs.
That's bombs right there.
That's because he
He'd be
DHs.
number one if he hit against Yu Darvish all season.
I did.
Let's not get in this Schwarber hates Japanese people argument again, all
I'm ready to
right?
go again.
We're not doing this
Hey.
again.
I cut it at you, and that's it.
I mean, okay, so I'm just gonna say that this was lost in the void. So I did want to bring one more thing up. They did rank. I do have the top 10 for starting pitchers.
Okay.
They did rank the top 50, however, but we're only gonna go to the top 10.
Okay.
10, Garrett Cole.
Okay.
Fair.
9, George Kirby. I like George Kirby a lot. He doesn't get a whole lot of
That's
Really?
high.
I don't know about top 10.
That's high.
Keep going. Keep going.
Okay.
Well, I'll talk about Kirby later.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 8.
Keep
Logan,
going.
Logan Webb,
Still.
7.
I'm okay with that.
Dog.
Logan Webb's
Tyler Glasnow,
Dog.
6.
I don't like this list.
Blake Snell, 5.
Okay.
I'm peeking over. I think it
This
gets
is-
worse.
This
I
is,
think it gets
this
worse.
Is where, this is where it gets
I
worse.
think it gets worse.
See, okay, but that gives me the impression that Castillo was what, 20 something?
Pitching rank wise, yeah.
Okay.
Check
It gets even worse. And listen, like I said, this guy's near and dear to my heart. Well, this guy isn't, but the next guy is.
Let's just dox the
Tarek
source. Let's
Skubal,
just
4.
Huh?
Tarek Skubal, 4.
All right.
the best pitcher in baseball last year.
Got it.
Who's
Who's 3, 2, 1?
If he could stay healthy, realistically, hopefully still the best pitcher in baseball, Jacob deGrom, 3.
38-year-old Jacob deGrom.
yeah.
Okay, 38-year-old
Better
Jacob
than
deGrom.
Zach Wheeler, 2.
Zach Wheeler is really good.
Okay, that's
And Paul Skeens, number 1.
okay.
I think I would go Tarek 1, Wheeler okay with 2, Skeens. Even though it was only 130 innings, he's top 5 right now.
Man, you started off the list with Cole, and I was like, okay, I feel like Cole should be higher now.
Oh yeah,
Judging by the rest
he's
of the
better than
list.
Kirby, and he's better than.
Oh, yeah.
Who-
I mean, I'm not
Wait,
even...
really? Well, who's 15 through?
Brother.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
I'm just
We might have to change sports
Limited
here.
resources.
Brother, dude, tell me how it goes from a tweet 2 days ago. I'm on just a normal
I
thing.
got nothing left.
It goes from a tweet. It goes from a tweet 2 days ago. I scroll down a little bit, and I'm now on 2024 projections. Does that make any sense?
All right, next week I'm bringing Fangraphs top 100.
Somehow, some way, the next tweet is 40 through 31.
Close your phone. All right, what's the next?
20 through 11. We don't know.
All right, you know what? Last one we think. Are you guys excited about the Angels?
What is there to be?
They're
excited
bringing
about?
in veterans.
Okay.
I was waiting
They're
to reach that.
85 outfielders.
There's
They might run the 4 outfielder softball.
there's a difference between excited and optimistic.
Yeah, okay,
I'm
that's a good.
optimistic. That's not saying we're gonna be good enough to make playoffs or anything, but I'm optimistic we're gonna be not as bad as everyone thinks, or at least compared to last year.
Yeah.
I mean, we're making additions. They're not sexy.
Well, Jorge, I mean,
I'm just happy we're spending something.
I'm kind of a Jorge
Yeah.
Soler guy.
I like
Jorge
I like Jorge Soler.
I mean, he can't play real much defense, and he strikes out like 300 times a year. But
AJ knows this happens every year with the Angels. Every year they bring in a ton of guys, and you're like, oh, the Angels are trying. But the guys that bring it in are Zach Cozart. They're
Yo,
bringing
I've learned my lesson.
Brandon Drury. Like
See,
they're bringing in castaways from bad teams. They're
Yeah.
not bringing in top talent. I guess Jorge Soler's top talent.
top power.
There's a reason why the
But-
Braves dumped him.
Exactly.
I'm ready for
yeah.
the regression.
Well, the
And it's
reason
gonna
there's-
happen.
There's a reason they dumped him is because the Braves are really, really good. So
I'm a relatively young
Yeah.
Angels fan, so I haven't had
You don't
to
have
deal
your
with the
heart hurt.
hardships of someone who's been
Yeah, that's
you know
nice.
practically a
That's
lifelong Angels fan. So I'm still optimistic, even though none of the moves we made are sexy, and even though we're not gonna get any of the top 25 guys in free agency.
you
But
getting 82 this year?
Here's No.
Aside from when Trout was a rookie and his early days, I haven't been happy since this.
Oh, no show?
4-year-old
Okay,
AJ.
that's
The
it.
last
Go
time.
That's fair too, but only to be broken hearted because Artie Moreno's cheap.
What do you mean, Red's Poppy doesn't get you?
yo, I will literally die on this hill that Luis Rengifo is top
Hey,
5 player on the.
I saw
roster
him
easily.
working out. I saw a little offseason workout vid. Hey,
They're
he's
gonna
got
test
30
him,
home
by the
runs
way.
loading. He's got
They're
30
gonna
home runs
test him.
loading.
They're gonna need to test him.
He is a
Dude's huge.
dog.
He's-
I love Luis
huge.
Rengifo.
Little-
You know what I'm saying? Luis Rengifo, Zach Neto, Logan O'Hoppe.
So that's what I'll give you. Angel fans can be optimistic about those guys.
They're so
They're
young.
they're young
So-
guys. Granted, like they don't have any top 100 prospects, and it's because they called them all up already. But like, yeah, looking at Neto, O'Hoppe, I would have so much fun trying to see what they become. So there's 100% optimism, but yeah, I like what you said. There's no expectation.
I wouldn't be shocked if I struggle to find this list next year. And going into 2026, O'Hoppe's easily top 10.
You
catcher
could have
in the
been 11 through 20, but we have no idea.
Well, I couldn't even find. I couldn't even find.
Check back next
I
week.
couldn't even find the fucking catchers.
He
So
might have been 8.
Yeah.
he could have been one. I don't even know who the best catcher according to them is. Probably Adley,
Yeah.
but just because the way they like all
he's,
that stuff.
He's falling off fast at
He is.
Well,
defense.
but, okay, but if you want to get into this, who's the best catcher in the MLB?
Adley and Will Smith were having a competition to see who could fall off the fastest. That was.
Because like all the top tier guys, like you'd say, elite
It's the big
guys
thumper, dude.
have fallen out.
It's a big thumper, platinum glove winning, 30 home run hitting
Talking
catcher.
about Cal?
Oh, that's the best
Oh,
catcher.
yeah.
That's the best catcher right there.
That dude rakes.
He does rake. Actually, fun fact: they did also have Cal Raleigh in the top 20 of MLB.
I'm pretty sure he won the platinum glove this year.
Wow.
Pretty sure he did.
You
And he
serious?
rakes.
I'm pretty sure he won the platinum glove this year, and he hit 30 plus home runs as a
Mariner,
catcher.
spend some money.
Nah, he's gone. But
Give Jerry some money to work
We're gonna
with.
go back down the rabbit hole.
This is the list we need. So this
Okay. So I got all of them. We're good.
There we
Okay.
go.
Let's mark it right now.
So it's a little different. It's
a different list. This is
It's
the
a
list
little
that
different, But we're gonna pick up kind of where we left off because it's kind of all the similar names, just in different orders.
Okay.
We'll pick up with the next one. Probably, I would still say the most exciting player in baseball besides Shohei Ohtani, who can do both. At 42, Ellie De La Cruz.
Oof.
I did
I don't
not
know,
expect you to
this-
say. I don't know why that was not what I
didn't instantly
expected.
think of Ellie De La Cruz when you said.
But it makes sense. I will give you, he is really exciting to play. But for
just
some
like watching
reason,
him play. I mean, I don't think.
What did he steal? 70-something bases last year?
If my favorite thing in the world about the sport is stealing bags, then yeah, he's up there. but
That's fair, but he also has pretty good
I
power.
would probably put Acuna above him, but a healthy one, I should say.
Yeah, I guess the health is a problem. That's unfortunate. So the next one, they actually have CJ Abrams at 34
Wow.
here.
Cody's gonna throw up.
So we're
they
moving
must
to-
really be.
So they are. It looks like they're high on some stuff because not high as in like qualities that people have because they have Patrick Bailey 29.
Okay.
Um.
That's good.
Overall players, though?
Yes.
So I think I think I've seen this list. I think this list is based on projected WAR.
Yes.
100% fully projected WAR. So yeah, the shortstops. Now I'm okay. CJ Abrams getting a bump, but it's 29. What, 29 for CJ?
34.
34. 29 for
34.
Bailey. 34 for CJ.
Yes.
That's
Alejandro
terrible.
Kirk at 35 is criminal. He sucks.
That's high.
I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Get this list away from us.
Oh wait.
we
Yeah,
got-
what's the football topic?
all right.
I
So
love
what is-
baseball. I love baseball though. I could talk 2 hours
Just
about
tell
this.
me this: is Sandy Alcantara on the list, and what number is he? Because it should be higher.
100 names. I give
I need
him
him traded.
45
ASAP.
seconds
I
to
need
find
him
it.
to go somewhere where he can thrive because he's just
79.
Oh, good for him.
that's
They didn't
okay.
pick all any last
No, I
year.
know, I know.
Good for him.
Lundy guy?
To be fair,
Be
though-
higher than him?
To be fair, though,
That's
they
good.
also do have Jacob DeGrom on this list at 12, and he didn't pitch last year.
Wow.
Too high.
He's going to pitch 35
So
innings.
summing up, shut up. Summing up, I guess we'll drop it dead after this. Top 10's Mook,
Good.
Julio,
Good.
Tatis.
Oh, Julio sucked
Alright.
last year. No.
Yeah, I was going to say, what the hell?
I'll still say
It's
good.
This is
projection.
projected.
I'll still say good. Okay.
Julio, Tatis, 8.
Yeah.
7, Ramirez.
Yeah,
Jose.
Good.
goaded.
6, Skeens.
Good.
5, Soto.
Wow.
4, Witt. 3, Judge.
What the fuck?
2, Gunner.
Ooh.
One. Ohtani.
The goat.
Your sweet prince, 56.
And CJ Abrams is
39.
22 spots higher?
Yeah, no, I would definitely take Neto over. But
No,
Michael.
no, Mike.
oh Mike,
Oh,
I was thinking shortstops when you said.
Neto's not on the list.
Mike did hit
Oh, yeah,
That's worse.
77.
That's
77. 77.
30, oh my God. 55 spot? No.
To be fair, Aaron Nola's 75. I feel
He's
like Aaron
he's an
Nola's
inning
pretty good.
eater at this point of his
Yeah.
And
career.
you also have Mark Vientos at 94.
Did not see his playoff. I literally,
I don't know. The 100.
I was sitting
Mr.
there.
Irrelevant-
Please don't throw him a fastball. He's gonna hit the
Mr.
fastball.
Irrelevant.
A casual made this list.
Mr. Irrelevant is Duran.
Darren Durant.
Darren
Jaron
Duran.
Oh, I think you said
My bad.
Yoran Duran.
Close the app. That's
Francisco Lindor is also 14. That's criminal.
Elon, get us
Okay.
off X.
Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. I
sorry.
had the entire list, lost it, and then I
And
couldn't.
we got a new list.
We
Then
found
we
a
got
worse
new
list.
and it pissed us off even more.
To argue.
The MLB retweeted that list too, so that's
So what we need is we need
that sums up how bad Rob Manfred is.
we need MLB to do their top 100 now. MLB Network.
Yeah.
And so in a couple months we'll talk about it again.
The shredder.
And then get mad again.
Yeah.
Yeah, get mad at the
Yeah.
shredder again.
Just,
Get pissed off again that people are
Those
ranked
lists
low
were
for-
better.
oh man! All right, so NFL.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
NFL. Massive news. The Atlanta Falcons says, "Fuck the 140 million guaranteed or whatever it is. We're gonna see what we have with Michael Penix." And I'm curious to see what you guys think. Going from a veteran coming off an injury to a rookie ninth overall pick,
Top 10.
top 10 at least.
Call it top
Yeah.
10.
And you're paying your backup 140 guaranteed. I'm curious to see what's Kirk's move after this year because I don't think anybody's going to
Yeah.
pick up that contract. Start with you.
We were talking about this a little bit before we started filming, but I guess before tonight, before they announced the change, I thought Kirk Cousins doesn't seem like he's doing that bad. But then we,
Yeah.
look back at it the last couple games, he's been pretty bad.
8 picks, 0 TDs before last game.
Yeah.
Like in his last 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, he had that one touchdown to Drake London against the Raiders, but they barely won 15-9. When you're playing the Raiders, you obviously, and especially in a game you need to win. Yes, you did win, but you should be beating them by 20, 25, 30 points.
No max too.
Is this needed?
No, that's what I'm saying. But he's picking up sound, right?
Sorry, Josh.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you tap?
That's why.
No, I
That's
didn't
why I
touch
told.
it.
That's
But
why
it
I
was
told
just
you-
bright. It was red, the full thing.
That's why I told you like earlier. I was like this, and then
Yeah.
right as you look down, it changed colors.
Okay. Sorry.
Got to change the settings.
But yeah, so I think the change is fine. I'm just not the biggest Michael Penix fan to begin with. In college, he was obviously a hell of an athlete, hell of an arm on him. He could sling the thing, but but realistically,
Hey,
and you can put my bias
tried not to
into it. Mind you, I hate left-handed quarterbacks.
He's a fake
So-
Tua.
That's just my thing. So I automatically don't already have that against him. I mean, but like we talked about earlier, you can't get much worse at the position.
Yeah.
So let's give the rookie a chance. And it sucks for Kirk because this is what everyone kind of expected. Like, to be fair, I didn't think it was going to happen this season. I thought next season, when Kirk had another season left,
4 years on his deal.
it's
Should be the highest paid player coach of all time.
yeah. I mean, that's a very expensive backup. You got to think like, do you ship him in the off season? Does he go to a
Who's going to pick him up?
well, I would say,
No one.
he's not realistically, he's not going to want to play for a team that is struggling and not a playoff contender. He's in the point of his career that it's either, playoffs or bust at this point.
Yeah.
He has a chance technically because the Falcons are only a game behind the Bucs for the division,
Ugh.
but he's not going to be leading them into the playoffs if they do make the playoffs, which honestly feel bad for Kirk, especially coming off of the injury last year. But you can't deny he's been playing, pretty bad. So
And you can't go back. Like you can't just.
this is it.
This is it. Like at least for the rest of the year, like you
Mhm.
can't go back to Cousins. You can't do it. That would kill Penix.
Well, sorry, really quick. The writing was like on the wall too, when they didn't even consult with him or tell him, "Hey, we're taking Penix in the draft." They didn't even talk to him. He was complete. He found out when everyone else found
I
out.
know.
Like,
And with the 9th overall pick, Falcons select Michael Penix Jr. What? No,
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins probably sitting on the couch drinking tea, and he's like, "Man, what the hell? What the heck?"
Oh, he would never say no.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah,
even
he
heck?
wouldn't say hell. He had that. I don't know if you watched the quarterback thing, but he had that like brain thing, that looked like an electronic thing on it. What the hell? Or heck?
It's. I feel bad for him, but you can't deny the way he's been playing, and it just hasn't been enough on a pretty good offense. We need with Bijan, Drake London, Kyle Pitts there.
Well, maybe I don't know if you could put Kyle Pitts in that.
The Moon Man.
He was good for a couple weeks at least.
I still think Kyle Pitts is good. I don't know why.
Well,
He's frail.
it's been 4 years,
Yeah.
or 3 years.
He's really bad when you look at who got drafted right behind him, Jamar Chase.
Ooh, that is not
That's
fair.
So
He
it's hard
sucks.
to justify drafting a tight end top 5 anyways, let alone
Yeah.
number 4 right before Jamar
I
Chase.
think it also, I think that it doesn't help Kyle Pitts. Where like the argument's been Kyle Pitts doesn't not that he doesn't get fed the ball, but he also until this year with Kirk didn't really have a quarterback. And then you have a rookie like Brock Bowers, who doesn't have a quarterback, but
He's making shit happen.
yeah, he's really good.
AJ, what do you think about Kirko getting benched?
I just think this
No
was
more
the.
chains.
I think this was the Falcons' biggest worry the entire time. You knew what you used your first round pick on a quarterback, but you signed a guy who just came off an Achilles tear, and you knew that this was going to happen if it got bad enough. I didn't think it was bad enough yet, but this was always the worry. And now that you see it, I feel like I agree. You can't go back. So now it's just going to be an awkward kind of like he's just going to be watching on the sideline thinking, all right.
But see, it's such a risky time
go
to
play.
do the change because you're
They
sitting
did
at
play the Giants.
I would say they did it. Yeah, they're giving him a layup start, but you're right. I mean, 3 games left of the season, and you're 1 game back of a playoff spot, and you're benching your veteran quarterback for that rookie who's never. I think they said he's thrown 5 passes this year.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
Mind you, he had a lot of college experience. I mean, he was drafted, I think, at like 24, 25 years old. So he was one of those like redshirt senior starting quarterbacks when he was drafted. So he had a lot of experience college-wise, but I mean, just look at the jersey behind you. Look at Caleb. Sometimes the college play does not translate to the NFL. At least, especially within your rookie season.
Sometimes it does. Like, it's just, I mean, it's almost like rookie quarterbacks are a crapshoot and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And like Bo Nix has a lot of experience in college and he's doing very well.
Started off really slow though.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But like they did the Colts played the
Broncos last week.
And there was a graphic showing how much football Anthony Richardson and like high quality football college and the NFL, how much they compared to each other, right? Well, they've started the same amount of NFL games.
Yeah.
And this is Anthony Richardson's second year.
Yeah.
Bo Nix played something like 50 games in college. Anthony Richardson played like 16.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, you're right. Now, Anthony Richardson, I think the thing for him is it's always the potential. Like, he has the potential to literally be unbelievable. But he also has the potential to be maybe the worst of all time.
I mean, definitely
Marcus Russell.
That's
one of the most overdrafted.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Just because it was off the promise. It was off the hype.
He's going to make so much money off of that back foot 50-yard bomb week one.
Oh, yeah.
100%. He is going to get contract after contract exactly
just because of
that potential. You're like, he's done it. He can do it. We're going to be the ones that teach him how to play quarterback.
Yeah. So. I mean, just going on an Anthony Richardson tangent, but he's probably raised his draft stock about 20, 25 picks just from his pro day and the combine where he's just fucking slinging that thing 70 yards. It's like
440.
Colts are like, I want him.
Yeah, I want him.
That's the one I want. We haven't had that shit since fucking Andrew Luck. At least some of that.
Well, don't disrespect Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck was
so good.
He's going to lead Stanford to top 25 relevancy next year. Bold take.
He's GM.
But
it's crazy that colleges need GMs now. But
that's so weird to hear.
I almost don't want you to say that ever again.
I felt wrong.
I'll never say
so
somebody's a GM of a college.
Well, yeah. I mean, you need it.
Back on Kirk, like we said, you can't go back, right? This is officially, you would like to think, or you have to think that his time in Atlanta is done. And it was kind of barely starting. So
it's almost like these guys need time to bounce back from their injuries too. I think it's very unfair. I kind of want to say unfair to Kirk and not necessarily to like Rodgers because there's really no backup that's going to take his spot. I mean, I think their backup is Tyrod. So obviously you know what you get with Tyrod. He's one of those good backups. He'll win you games and he'll lose you games. But I think it's almost like these guys with after a horrific injury need time. Absolutely. I mean, like I understand it's a different sport, but look at like Ronald Acuna Jr. tore his ACL, came back, was not very good when he came back. Mm-hmm. Played like half the rest of that year, was very, very bad. And then he goes 40-60 next year. Yeah. It's like almost like they need time to build off of these.
Absolutely.
And you got to think about Kirk tore his Achilles in like week 6 last year or something like that, right?
I think it might have been later, but
either way, like there was definitely still football to be played, and you're not throwing or anything like that for quite a long time. And he didn't get that surgery that Rodgers did, the like experimental one where Rodgers was able to quote unquote bounce back so much quicker to where
Rodgers was like running on that thing 2 weeks after.
Exactly. And so now that was very risky. It could have been very well that Rodgers' Achilles popped again right after that. Mm-hmm. But like he didn't get that. He just got the standard Achilles surgery. And so he needed more time to come back. And now you're on a new team with a young quarterback and now you're no longer have a job.
Yeah, but I mean, when a guy like that commands so much money that he did in free agency, you're not paying him that much money to not play week 1.
100%.
So that's just the nature of the game, though.
Yeah.
If you're coming off of an injury and if you're healthy, if Doc says you're good to go, and you've been in the league for 10 plus years, you're playing.
Well, I'm not saying like bench him. Yeah. I'm just saying like you gotta understand the first year, like there's gonna be times where he's still gotta figure it out, get back up to speed. But it's very interesting. Like I don't know where Kirk will go after this. I don't see a team picking up his contract because you said fringe teams, like teams that will go to the playoffs, teams that at least push for the playoffs. But you'd argue that if teams are pushing for the playoffs, they already have a quarterback.
Mhm.
And so I'm not sure if those guys are going to go out and get rid of the quarterback they have for a quarterback that they have to pay a lot of guaranteed money for. I will give Kirk and his agent this. They always get him contracts with a lot of guaranteed money.
Yeah.
I think we're looking at another Russell situation without the fallout of the coach, where we just see a lot of dead money on that team's
Just eat it,
roster, and
I think it's going
You
to start
just have to
becoming a
deal with
thing where, I mean, like the Giants are eating a lot of dead cap for Danny Dimes.
yeah, no, I forgot about that.
The Falcons
Browns
could.
gonna be
The Browns might. The Broncos are.
Yeah.
So it's a copycat league. I guess you could see it happening. It's obviously not great, but this also proves the fact that if you're an NFL quarterback, if you're a young quarterback and you're on a contract year, you may have been not great for the first 2 years. All you got to do is have 6 good games to end the season, and then you are getting paid.
Yeah.
It's all about potential in the NFL, right? They see if an owner or GM sees some glimmer of hope, they're gonna, like Cody said earlier, we could fix him. I could teach him how to play quarterback.
Yeah.
Right.
my system. He's gonna work in my system.
We'll give him the best, opportunity to be great, and we're gonna get it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
The Colts' worst fear is for first round draft picks are 5-year contracts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fifth option.
Four with
Fifth
the option at the end, team option at the end.
Yeah. So 4 in year 4, week 10, from week 10 to 17, Anthony Richardson's just unbelievable. He's running because, like we said, he shows promise. He can throw the ball incredibly well, and he's one of 3 quarterbacks that if there's a linebacker at the goal line, he could run them over and get in the end zone. Lamar would shake the shit out of him, but he's not going to run anybody over.
Yeah.
Him and Allen are really the only two that will put their shoulder down and will run right over somebody. The promise is there, but if he does it for the last 6 games of his contract, then that man.
Or will he still be starting by that
then
time?
that man's getting paid fat.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends on, we were talking about this before the show, and I kind of wanted to go through a list of some head coaches for you guys. No, I was busy at work, didn't come up with the list, so it would have it at the top of my head. Of keep or, fire or whatever. And one of the coaches I was going to have on that list is Shane Steichen. Because I guess it depends on what the Colts do with someone like Shane Steichen.
Yeah.
Because Shane Steichen, there's no doubt. They had a very bad offensive play last week. But hey,
the double backwards pass, pick 6.
He thought he was Giuseppe in NCAA.
Try to be too cute.
Yeah, to try to in a game in the fourth quarter and you're only down by 4 or 5 or something like that. To try to be too cute. But the Colts have a lot of off-field problems. There's a lot of rumors that people are showing up extremely late to meetings, not showing up at all. They're just not taking care of in-house stuff, and you're never going to win football games like that. So there's no doubt that on the ball side, Shane Steichen's kind of a genius. He knows how to draw up plays. He could get anybody open. Now, is Anthony Richardson going to hit those guys? Flip a coin. We'll see. But I'm curious to see if they kind of see that and they're like, listen, this guy, one of those guys, that's an amazing offensive coordinator. He can't command the room and command the respect of his guys. I don't think he can be a head coach. I'm not saying that. Yeah. That's kind of the way I'm leaning. But because this is the second straight year, some Colts got caught gambling last year. Some Colts this year, like I said, showing up late to meetings. So it looks like maybe he can't demand the locker room. But I'm curious. Let's just off the top of my head here, we'll go first guy, someone like Zach Taylor, head coach for the Bengals. Are you guys giving him one more year?
I think he'll get another year.
You guys cut or firing him, or are you guys giving him a massive extension?
So that one's tricky because he does have the Super Bowl appearance. But you look at Zach Taylor's work overall, he's got a losing record, I'm pretty sure, as a head coach. And it's the defense is terrible. And I get it, he's not defensive coordinator, but overall to have a losing record and be safe on your job because of one good year, and that one good year could be because it was Joe Burrow, who got sacked 50 times still. Right? So it wasn't even it was crazy good coaching. Joe Burrow just had one of the best seasons ever. So I'd be okay if they moved on from Zach Taylor. But I think that Super Bowl appearance is going to keep him there for a few more years.
Well, yeah, I'm on the same boat, only because it's so weird seeing the Bengals. We see them look so good, and then we see them look so bad.
Yeah.
And it's just, I feel like that's what he's bringing to this team because you look at the record right now. What are they, 6-8? You look at it; it's not that bad. But I think at one
Might be
point,
worse.
I think at one
They
point,
barely beat the Cowboys. And I know I picked the Cowboys that game, and I really did not expect it to be that close going into the fourth quarter.
yeah. But then you got games like they lost by 1 to the Chiefs. They lost by 1, I think, to the Ravens.
Twice.
You know, the games are there. Some would say the good coaches and the good teams would win those games. I think it's just been some bad luck this year because, I mean, we've seen Joe Burrow and he's having a fantastic season. So I think he stays only, I wouldn't necessarily say the extension, but definitely I think he stays for another season.
Yeah, I think he gets one more year. Obviously, they could lose out this year. I still think he'll get the one more year. They're going to fire the defensive coordinator at the end of the season. He's gonna be the scapegoat. I mean, rightfully so.
Yeah.
That defense is terrible.
Yeah.
Zach Taylor, obviously an offensive-minded coach. I mean, they're putting up anywhere from 20 to 40 points a game. Joe Burrow's having an excellent year, obviously. So it's definitely not all on him, but you're the head coach of the football team. You're gonna get a lot of the weight and a lot of the backlash. But this is the year that they use the defense coordinator scapegoat. They go maybe hire an established DC that doesn't get a head coaching job. Maybe Brian Flores is out there trying for head coaching jobs. He's not getting it. Maybe he goes to the Bengals, get an upgraded DC. Then he really has no choice.
Do you think he'd leave Minnesota?
Yeah. If you see a guy like Brian Flores go out there for maybe interviewing for head coaching jobs, and he wants maybe a change of, I think it would help a resume for the next season after that too. If you go to a Bengals team who obviously is struggling this year defensively, if he goes there next year, improves that defense, greatly, then the year after that, you're looking at a prime head coaching opening or a possible chance there too.
I don't know if he'd risk that just because if they're terrible again, then there goes his head coaching. All right. Next guy, Mike McDaniel. Or Mike McDaniel.
McDaniel. Dolphins. Yes.
Dolphins. My bad.
I was ready to talk about Mike McCarthy, but
That's the next guy. So, yeah, we'll do 3 today. There's a lot that are.
Yeah.
I mean, the Raiders head coach could be out. The Ravens have a lot of.
I mean,
questions.
I think every year there's about 8 coaches job openings that pop up for head coaching jobs. I think this year you're going to see at least 10.
it wouldn't shock me.
Like you will. I mean, this could be a multiple week thing. You could talk about the Raiders. I mean, I see a lot of Ravens fans that aren't very happy. They are arguably the best team in the NFL, but for some reason, Philadelphia State is still hating Nick Sirianni. So, but off topic, Miami Dolphins.
I think they got to fire him. And it sucks because their offense can be so explosive, but it's 4 straight years of just incompetence against teams above 500.
I was about to say they're like 2-10.
Yeah, and it's not even like those games are close. It almost feels like every time they play a good team, they get destroyed.
Yeah.
They get destroyed. Now, they're going to put up 70 against a very bad Broncos team, right? They're going to, I don't know, maybe Tyreek's done, but they're going to beat those bad teams because they're so fast and explosive. But as soon as you have a good team, an above average team, where they have to, it's almost like they can't keep up pace. Like when they're playing free and easy and explosive offense, they have no issue. So I feel like just for that, if you look at his record against teams above 500, you're saying it's 2-10, which would not shock me. You probably got to move on from
It
that.
might be worse.
Yeah,
I think it is worse.
I think I saw 2-15.
Ooh,
Which is it's terrible.
arguably.
'Cause you want to win playoff games.
You want to win at least half of the games that people think is 50-50.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like if you play the Panthers, you're favorited, you should beat them. They're beating the Panthers.
Yeah.
They're not beating
Chiefs.
middle ground teams, not even the Chiefs, middle ground, like Chargers. They're not beating the Chargers. Little above average teams, but realistically, the record shows that he's not beating them.
Yeah, no, I think he's a great coach. And maybe he's like a Shane Steichen, like we were talking about. Maybe he's just a guy that is a great offensive mind, but maybe he just isn't. He gets along with the players really well. But as far as you got to be able to coach at the end of the day, you could be a great guy and the coaches or the guys love you, but at the end of the day, you got to coach. And I think he's just getting out coached, plain and simple. When you play those better teams, I don't think the talent's not there because it's certainly there. I think at the end of the day, it's just simply getting out coached.
Yeah, I think this is his last year. as a head coach, let alone the Dolphins head coach. I could see him getting fired, and I could also see him going to be a nice offense coordinator somewhere.
Picked up immediately, I would
for
argue.
sure. I mean, you look at his resume, he does have a resume. His offense has always been good. Not amazing some games, not terrible other games, but I think that he can still prove that he can call plays, to say the least. And he is a player's coach. You can tell all the Dolphins like him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that comes with being a younger guy. You connect with him more, you understand more. But at the end of the day, you're judged by your resume, and his resume is just not impressive. And if you're the Dolphins, you, especially in a winnable division outside of the Bills, sorry, at least where you can fight for a wild card spot, right, in the AFC, you are going to need to do something while you have Tua under contract still. And I think he's really handcuffed by Tua because I don't think Tua is that great.
Because he's lefty.
Right.
Yeah. I remember
75% of it. But that's always going to hold him back a little bit because they're going to fire the head coach before they let
the
Tua go.
franchise quarterback. Yeah. I think that it's kind of unfair for the Dolphins and kind of the rest of that division where they went from Tom Brady and Bill Belichick dominating for 20 plus years, and now they got to deal with the Bills. So that's a little bit of a tough road. I'm not going to lie. All right. Last guy we'll talk about today. Your favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
What do you do with Mike McCarthy?
Yeah, so start of the year, I was like, we have to move on. We have no choice. And now Jerry Jones is coming out and saying that he's giving A grades to not just Mike McCarthy, but Zimmer too, our defensive coordinator, who has not been great in my opinion this year. So
Defense been very bad.
it's been bad. Well, they've had a lot of injuries. So that's the only thing I will say about the Cowboys. And it's other teams have had a lot of injuries, but DeMarcus Lawrence is somebody who he's not going to end the year with great stats, but he's a stable in that defense. And he's been gone the entire year. Micah Parsons missed a handful of games. Dak's been on the IR. Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland, both their corners have been, I think they've played one game together this year. So and now Diggs is done for the year. So they're not going to play any more games together.
That ACL Swiss cheese.
Yeah. Yeah. He's getting cleaned up there. So every time I hate Mike McCarthy, he pulls me back in. That's what I will say. And it's hard because, I know that they're like 1-2 in the playoffs, I think, under McCarthy, but 3 straight 12-5 records.
A win's a win.
Right. Exactly. A win's a win. But they went 12-5, 12-5, 12-5 in the regular season, 2020, 2021, or no, 21, 22, and 23. So 3 straight 12-5. That's not just winning records. That's dominating.
Yeah.
That's dominating in the NFL. And then all of a sudden this year they're getting blown out at home. And so maybe it's an anomaly year. The same thing happened his first year. His first year, they looked really bad. They were 2-3 with Dak. Dak breaks his leg, and then they kind of just mediocre the rest of the year. And then everybody's healthy, and they're 12-5. So I think Mike McCarthy comes back not because he's being good, but because Jerry Jones seems to love him.
He didn't break his leg. It was just a cramp. What do you think about Mike McCarthy?
I'm not a big McCarthy fan, if I'm being honest. I thought he should have been gone last year. But I definitely do see him coming back. Not that would be my choice. I just kind of see that's how it's going to play out. I'm just not impressed by Mike McCarthy. The division, it kind of feels out of grasp, I would say, for the next few years, the way the Eagles look. And you got the Commanders coming up, who look great as well, and I would say the Giants aren't going to get any worse from where they're at right now.
They
So
can't get worse.
they can only go up. But I'm just not a big McCarthy guy. Like I said, I would get rid of him, but I think I see him staying.
Yeah, I think he falls into the one more year category. I think as a head coach, you're always going to be handcuffed when Jerry Jones is your general manager too.
That's
so. Yeah,
I've been seeing a lot of toxic tweets about Jerry Jones the last
And not
few
just fired. I mean, no.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
He needs to retire.
weeks. No, I've seen worse to retire.
Yeah,
This a family-friendly show? No,
I don't know.
No.
We've said fuck a few times on this show. I don't know if it's family friendly.
realistically, say they fire McCarthy, they bring in someone.
Cliff.
Nothing's gonna change.
I don't think Cliff
Nothing's
goes.
gonna change when Jerry.
I wanted them to
Jones
get Sean
is-
Payton's.
Is completely that gray cloud over your franchise for the last 20 years since the 90s, right?
Let me put it this way. I'm 28. They've never won a Super Bowl in my lifetime, and I think they've only won 4 playoff games in my lifetime.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the one constant has been Jerry Jones. That's been the one constant.
So you can blame the head coach all you want, but when you have that great cloud over your franchise, doesn't really do you any favors. But I think he does fall into the 1 year. I think obviously the Cowboys having all the injuries that they've had, they don't have their franchise quarterback for a lot of the season. Obviously, I think this year he's going to get a pass. But next season, when everyone's back healthy, knock on wood, obviously you really have no other choice. It's either win or go home in a very competitive division, but I think still winnable.
They beat them out last year.
Yeah. Eagles have looked good this year, but they've definitely shown some holes. Commanders kind of were on a slid there before the bye. They came back, nice and healthy from the bye. They look good again. But I think it's very Giants of the Giants. But I think it's competitive, but it's good because if he could win the division next year and actually be competitive in those games, that's what's gonna get him that extension.
I think it's so funny because you were talking about injuries for the Dallas Cowboys defense. I think it's so funny how they need to get Mike. Dallas Cowboys fans saying this. They need to get Mike McCarthy out. Obviously, Zimmer out. Doesn't matter about the injuries. It's because they're losing football games. Their offense isn't good enough to keep up with the injuries for their defense. On the other side, obviously a defense that's dealing with a whole lot of injuries and they're giving up a whole lot of points. It almost seems like every single week's a shootout for them. Now they lost this week. That moves them to 12-2. The Detroit Lions. I'm just curious. This is obviously won't happen because I'm assuming all 4 of us are very pro Dan Campbell. You can't not be. But I'm curious what you guys think of. Can your offense kind of shy away a bad defense or a hurt defense? Because the Lions have a hurt defense. They're not very good, but they're winning. Their defense is giving up 30-plus points a game, but it doesn't matter because their offense is scoring 40. Now, that might stop a little bit because Montgomery. We'll have to see. But I'm curious what you guys think of if the Cowboys' offense was competent to put up 30-plus, 25-plus points a game, and they're winning some of those games somewhere now around 500, maybe a little bit above. Would there be that much talk? Because there's not talk of getting rid of Aaron Glenn or Dan Campbell, even though that defense is not great, injuries or not.
I think the bigger, offenses can to a certain point. We've obviously seen with the Bengals, it doesn't all the way work that way. But I think the bigger issue, with the Cowboys, was the offseason signings. It was the most casual Cowboys fan could look at that team and say, we should bring in a running back. And Rico Dowdle is our RB1. Now, granted, back-to-back 100-yard games, and guess what they've been doing? They've been winning these last few weeks, and it's correlating with good running back play. But the start of the year, they were averaging 40 rush yards a game.
And you had good running backs on the market.
Yeah. Even if you didn't get the top guy in Derrick Henry and Saquon, you still have guys like Joe Mixon who are on the market. So it was very frustrating to see that. And like I said, the most casual fan could look at that team and say, we need a running back. And it just did not happen.
You got 2.
We got Zeke.
Hell, even Aaron Jones would look good right now.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody like that.
No, did the Raiders trade Jacobs?
No, Josh Jacobs signed.
Josh Jacobs signed. So you look at Dak's best years was when Zeke was great, when Tony Pollard was an issue, because Dak is so good on that play action. And if you watched games this year, start of the year, they couldn't run play action, or if they did, no one believed it because you're not scared of the run game, right? So I think they can to a certain extent. Bengals are proof that it doesn't always work. I think Lions might be in trouble.
Oh, the Lions
They're
are
in trouble. Yeah,
They've gotten some of their defense guys back, but they also lost. I mean, it is a good luxury to lose one of your running backs, but don't worry, the other guy is Jahmyr Gibbs. It doesn't matter. But
I don't think that's going to really hurt them that much. I mean,
You don't think so?
No.
I think in the red zone we're going to see it hurt.
I think because look at last week. Jahmyr Gibbs still, I think, had 2 rushing touchdowns within or in the red zone, within 10 yards from the end zone. So I think that's a suitable. I mean, realistically, Jahmyr Gibbs is the sole starting running back on a lot of teams. They're just they were lucky enough to have both him and Monty. I don't think it's going to hurt them that much, but they did also. I can't remember the name, but they did also just lose another secondary player with a broken jaw.
They lost 3 guys in that game.
It's brutal, but when you look, they only lost by I think 6 points.
Yeah.
But that just shows you how explosive that offense is.
Yeah.
So it's possible, but I think Aaron Glenn is a guy, defense coordinator for the Lions, who could be hitting the road after this year,
especially for a head coach job.
No.
Oh no, I think
getting fired.
No, I think there's a chance he gets head coaching job.
I don't. This defense hasn't been that good. I know,
good
obviously, you have the injuries. I understand there's injuries, but a lot of it has to come down to scheme, and I just don't like the scheme, really.
That's fair. I thought I last year was very loud for him to possibly get a head coaching job. I think that still carries over. They are not going to have their offensive coordinator again after this year. Ben Johnson.
That's what everyone said last year too.
Yeah,
but I think he wants to win something, right? But I think this is the final year he's going to try to win something.
But also, I guess before we do our pick'ems real quick, we'll do that in just a second. I'm curious to see what there is a chance. There's no, obviously, coordinators and head coaches do not count towards salary cap. Are we going to see in this modern time where like the Ford family, owners of the Detroit Lions, go to Ben Johnson and be like, hey, listen, we're going to give you like damn near close to head coaching money just to stay as our offensive coordinator. Do you think there's a possibility that some team's going to do that to hold on to their unbelievable offensive coordinator?
No.
I
think coordinators always want to be head coaches.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
Yeah,
but I'm saying, I'm not saying that they're going to accept the offer.
Oh, but they're going to I'm sure it's happened. It's 100% happened. It had to have. Where this guy's interviewed with 15 different teams because he's going to be a head coach. So yeah, you have to bump that offer up. But if you want to run a team, you want to be the guy.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it may work out, it may not. And someone in Ben Johnson with the resume, like we said with Steichen, McDaniel, and someone even like Robert Saleh, where Robert Saleh, whenever he decides to coach again, there are a lot of defenses that would really like him to be their defensive
certainly
coordinator.
At least as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know about head coach. A lot of people are. I mean, it does kind of show that maybe it wasn't Robert Saleh's fault that this team sucks.
Well, you're going to follow the Dan Quinn formula. Dan Quinn was head coach, fired, defensive coordinator in Dallas, built that resume back up, head coach again.
Yeah, that's what happens with a lot of these guys too. Is they go from it doesn't really work out. They learn a lot as their head coach first time, but it didn't work out. And they go back to being a coordinator, and then become a head coach again, and maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. I guess you could say someone the offense doesn't look inept, but someone like Steelers OC, old Atlanta Arthur Smith.
I don't think he's going to be a head coach again.
I don't know if he wants to be. I mean,
he's doing fine.
Such a bad.
He's doing fine. Obviously, the Steelers' offense has been clicking since Russell came back, but I think that he's one of those guys that is going to remain an offensive coordinator, just because people I think are going to still have a sour taste in his mouth since the time or because of his time in Atlanta. He just generally wasn't that good. And then, I mean, look at a guy who's going to be on the market for sure. I would be surprised if he doesn't get a job. Mike Vrabel taking a year off.
I was going to mention earlier.
I am not going to lie to you. I think there's an outside chance that Mike Vrabel goes and coaches for his alma mater next year.
It's a chance.
I think they're going to fire Ryan Day because I'm pretty sure Mike Vrabel went to Ohio State.
Yeah,
and I think they're going to fire Ryan Day unless they win the Natty.
See, I thought you were talking about the Patriots.
Oh, well,
that's another job I could see opening up.
Maybe, yeah, definitely. But I think Ohio State's going to fire Ryan Day. Ryan Day on the short end of the stick because his record at Ohio State is like 38 and like 3 or 4. But hey, listen, baby,
dog.
Can't be Michigan.
3 or 4 of those losses to Michigan.
Can't be Michigan.
And that's how it works there. And I mean, they did an interview before the Michigan game with him, and he said that besides his father passing away, losing to Michigan is the worst thing he's ever experienced in his entire life.
I mean, you want that as an Ohio State coach.
You definitely do, but they also want them to actually beat Michigan. I mean, it's an outside chance, obviously, but I think with the way that college is kind of lining up, they need GMs and they need people with experience to be able to coach salary cap. You can see a lot of these NFL guys. I don't know if Vrabel's a failed head coach in the NFL, but I
can't see him ever going to college.
Yeah,
he's just I think he's an NFL guy. I mean,
could be.
At the very least, he'll get another DC job.
I think he should get a head coaching job.
I do too. Sure. But it's just, I think he's going to be one of those safe hires, right? Whenever you hire a defensive coordinator, former or at least well-known defensive coordinator as a head coach, I think that's always a safe pick because you see a lot of these teams go after the sexy 30-year-old offensive coordinator Sean McVay, Mike McDaniel, these guys that are, you want an explosive offense.
Exciting coaches.
Yeah, those are the exciting picks, but I still think Vrabel, even though he may be the safe pick, is going to get a job in the NFL.
And those exciting picks hit sometimes. I mean, McVay's an unbelievable head coach, but
Of course.
you would argue that a lot of the other guys don't work out. Cliff didn't work out the first time, but I'm sure he's gonna be another guy that
He's
is
gonna get a
probably
job.
gonna be moving on for a job. Pick 'em.
Yeah.
Let's pick him.
All right. So,
I haven't looked at any matchups this week.
Me neither. I have no idea who's playing who.
Week 16 already. Damn. We have 3 weeks left in the season. Let's see, we have probably about,
Pretty exciting Thursday
16
night game.
games? I'll do the first little batch, okay? Just
man,
because
I'll
my
tell you
team's
what,
in there, sorry.
There are some good games, but there are some.
4.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's see. Big implications in this game, too. Obviously, wild card implications. We have Thursday Night Football. Denver Broncos going to Los Angeles, playing the Chargers. I think this is the in-division game. Give me the better defense here. I'm going to take the Broncos away.
I was gonna say the same thing. I like the Broncos a lot. Their defense is unbelievable. Bonus can get the job done. Justin Herbert can kind of sling it against anybody, but they just don't have the guys yet on that offense. I'm gonna take the Broncos.
I was going to take the Broncos. I'm probably still going to take the Broncos. And it's not because of the defense. They do have a pretty good defense. I'm a huge fan of watching Bo Nix play. The last 8 weeks, ever since he learned the NFL, it seems like.
Yeah.
Now, I think he threw 3 interceptions last week.
That'll happen.
They won that game by 20. So I'm going to take them, and it's because of Bo Nix.
Yeah, I think it's kind of upsetting. I really liked what the Chargers were doing, but this was my worry when they lost J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
You lose the tempo of the game, and things start to get out of whack. Your defense might be out there quicker than they normally. Less rest for them. So this was my worry, and then look what happened with the Bucs did to them.
Yeah.
They gave a 40 to 17. I just wanted to make sure it was a 40 burger on
Baker
there.
will do that, baby. There will be games where Baker will do that.
And you could just tell, and this even happened last year a little bit, especially towards the end of the season. Justin Herbert's playing hurt. I mean, he's hurting. He's banged up again. He's not practicing this week. You can tell he's going through something as far as pain-wise, and like you said, without J.K. Dobbins, even though they do have Gus there, Gus is just not producing as that lead back.
No.
That no one really
Never has,
expected him.
never will. Yeah.
That's crazy.
There's a reason he was behind J.K. Dobbins when they were in Baltimore, and there's a reason he was behind J.K. Dobbins. L.A.
Yeah. So in short, I will be taking the Broncos as well.
All right, clean sweep there. Next, we have another big AFC game with wild card implications, at least for one team. We have the Houston Texans traveling to Kansas City and going against the Chiefs, 13-1 Chiefs. AJ, kick us off, please. I need you to let's get a pep talk going for your boys here.
All right.
I think all NFL fans, if you're not from Kansas City, want to see the Texans win.
All right.
To Brian Bedell.
Let me correct you first. When you said wild card implications, you are looking at the AFC South champions.
That's the best division of football, baby.
Thank you very much. 2 years running. Thank
day.
you.
It's opposite day.
All right. But no, really, I don't know what the hell is going on. I mean, Nico Collins had 16 yards last week.
2 tuds.
But
Find the paint,
as a
baby.
fan,
That's
I'm
good tight
watching-
end numbers.
I'm watching as a fan, and the defense looks great. I'm seeing Kalen Bullock break up passes. I'm seeing Kamari Lassiter make tackles and breaking passes as well. Derek Stingley's doing what he's been doing since he's been drafted by the Texans. So
And
defense,
Al. What's his name?
I'll show you.
Al Shayer.
yeah, no, and but Henry Tiotu, that's a rough last name. Tiotu. I hope I said it right. He looked great last week too. I definitely do think it hurts losing the captain for 2 games now. The offense, I think I heard the stat during the game when I was watching was they have the worst percentage going into third downs, and I think they're averaging being at 3rd and 8. And that's obviously that's not even the issue really. I think teams know that Bobby's running the ball 2 times in a row, and they're just stacking the box. early downs, they're just trying to establish the run, which I can't argue. But if it's not working, it's not working. And at some point you got to change it. So when you're starting, or it's the penalties, obviously it could be either one. The Texans have had a rough season with penalties. And when you're in that hole at 3-8 or third down and 8 to go, how the hell do you expect CJ to make a great pass every single time? You can't put him in a hole like that, especially with losing with one of his top weapons. And Tank just hasn't looked the same this year with coming off the injury as
He had a good
well.
game last week though.
I don't even know if he did.
Well, he was as a returner. He had a
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think we just need to see a little bit different in the play calling, and hopefully the O-line stops with the penalties. I just, for the way they look right now, I'm picking against my boys.
Ooh.
I don't want to. It hurts me. But I just don't love what I'm seeing right now out of my guys. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
I'm going to talk way less than AJ because I'm not as invested in the Texans. But here's what I will say is the Texans' best weapon this year, I feel like, has been Joe Mixon.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been going through Joe Mixon. And Joe Mixon was not good last week. And I'm pretty sure the Chiefs have a top 5 rush defense. So those are two things. You need the run game to work so CJ can make stuff happen. He doesn't have as much pressure on him. Like you're saying, that 3rd and 8 is a lot harder than 3rd and 2.
Mm-hmm.
So for that reason, because they need to go through Joe Mixon, but the Chiefs are so good at stopping the run, I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Patrick Mahomes is a little banged up.
I haven't even talked about that.
I am a little disappointed.
Practice in full though.
I'm going to get to that. I'm a little disappointed that he practiced in full because I thought we were going to be able to see some. This isn't obviously the Christmas Day one, but I was really hoping we'd be able to see some Christmas Day Carson Wentz football. I'm not going to lie to you because
It is Christmas Day.
You know how this game is Christmas Day.
Isn't it? 21st.
It's 21st.
They play again in 4 days.
Saturday.
Saturday game.
Yeah. So they're overlapping college football's playoff. So I'm a little disappointed with that because when Carson Wentz walks onto the football field, there's a chance he throws 500, and there's a chance he throws for 104 picks. There's also a chance he sprains both ankles in one play, and there's also a chance that he runs 20 yards past, obviously downfield, and then still tries to shovel something. Like there's just anything could happen with Carson Wentz. So I'm a little disappointed. We're probably not going to see that. Give props to Mahomes. It's really hard to take him off the field. The Chiefs just kind of do what it takes to win. I don't think the Chiefs cover in this game, although they did cover last week. The Chiefs are notorious for not covering. I think this game is going to be very tight. But the Chiefs defense is unbelievable on both sides. You said top 5 possibly in passing or in rushing.
That'd be top 3.
Their pass defense is also unbelievable.
Yeah.
Give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, I also got the Chiefs. Unfortunately, it's until someone beats them, I'm not going to pick against them.
Yeah.
Essentially, they know how to win.
Yeah.
They have top 5 coach of all time coaching them, so it's hard to pick against that. Yeah.
They have 4 Hall of Famers as coaches. Andy Reid's a Hall of Famer. Who's their OC? I forgot who their OC is. Dang, but all I know is they were talking about it, and there's all 4 of their coaches are guaranteed, they're going to be Hall of Famers. But unfortunately, I don't have all their names right now. But even their special teams guy is one of the best special teams guys.
Let's see.
Of course.
This is shock me at this point.
Of course.
Next, we have, I'm in the wrong week, we have the
you guys.
Pittsburgh Steelers going to Baltimore and facing the Ravens. Obviously, this is for the lead in the division. Brian, who you got?
Oh, you're not leading off for this up?
No.
Okay, well, as sitting here right now, I don't know what the health of TJ Watt is. He obviously got banged up last week. I believe they're the Steelers 1-11 when TJ Watt doesn't play. I think this is obviously a division game. They know so much about each other. This is a coin flip. I'm going to take the Ravens. Lamar, I think for a few reasons. First of all, Lamar looked unbelievable last week. He's looked unbelievable all year. It's really a 2-horse race. So selfishly, Lamar wants to keep up with Allen for the MVP race. I feel like that's going to drive him. And also, they need to win to have a chance to win the division.
Mm-hmm.
I believe this puts them in a very good spot to win the division if they win this week. I'm going to take the Ravens. I wouldn't say they're all around the better team, but with the possibility of no Watt, no Pickens, because they're talking about how that might be a grade 2 hamstring.
Yeah,
Which
he's
would
probably
be-
not going to play.
Probably not going to play.
I would say
for quite
TJ
some
has a
time.
better shot than he
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
Yeah, but so, and even if TJ Watt's unbelievable, but if he's hurt, that's a rough game to play hurt.
Mm.
Playing a division game hurt, it's not great. So
Especially with how rough it gets.
I'm gonna take the Ravens.
I'm just piggybacking off of George Pickens not playing. Sorry about that. That means their wide receiver 1, I'm pretty sure, is Van Jefferson. Dog, not great. Not great. So, I mean, I do love Russell Wilson and what he's been able to do this year. And I know, Red Nose, I always, give crap to Lamar because Dak's put up some better passing years. But this is MV3. This is the best version we have ever seen of
That's what I like
Lamar.
to hear.
So that I just think, especially something on the line, Lamar has something to prove. I think he wins this game. I think it's another huge Lamar game. So I'm gonna take the Ravens.
And plus, Lamar's mama talked to him, and he started
Yeah.
running the ball more.
1-0 since he got yelled at.
Hey, listen.
And the
doesn't
near
matter if
perfect
you're-
pass rating.
I was
Yeah.
about to say, it doesn't matter if you're a grown man or a little kid. Sometimes you just need to be yelled at by your mama. That's how it goes.
I just saw it.
Yes, I do make fun of Lamar. As much as he's a big Ravens fan. But if there's one thing I'm certain of, it is Mike Tomlin owns you guys. So I am gonna take the Steelers because I do think TJ's gonna play.
Does Mike Tomlin own him?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And if you want to be certain, or if you want to get specific, he owns Lamar Jackson because his career record against Lamar.
I'm gonna look
is
it up.
I think
Sensational.
he's the one. I think Lamar's only won 2 games against the Steelers.
So, and the last time they played,
Lamar is 2-5 versus the Steelers.
Wow.
there you go. There wasn't a lot of points put up last time. I know George Pickens had some big catches in the last game. But these are just how these games are. They're gritty. And I think if we've learned anything with the Baltimore Ravens defense, it's not very good.
Rush defense is good.
And and I mean, arguably, that's what they're going to have to rely on in this game without George Pickens. You're going to have to rely on Warren, and you're going to have to rely on Najee. But I think if we see a gritty game, there's not many teams you'd take over the Steelers to win it.
If TJ Watt
So-
doesn't play, are you going to still take the Steelers?
I think given the track record, yeah, I think even then I would. But yeah, this week, give me the Steelers.
Flips table.
Yeah.
Obviously, give me the Ravens. This is a must-win for the Ravens. Obviously, there's all the people in the world that say Lamar can win in these types of games. I have one sitting next to me. If you really want to
I
win,
might change.
if you really want to win your third MVP, this is the game to
Gotta
prove
win
it,
this
right? Kind of had a nice little layup practice squad game last week against the Giants. Lamar 5 touchdowns, all passing. I'm just gonna throw that in there.
Against me, playing corner.
Hey,
It's the fucking Giants.
when you're putting up those type of numbers, I'm just saying when you're beating Josh Allen in every statistic other than rushing touchdowns,
But he's not in life. I think that's something we can all agree on.
That's crazy. All right, Haley Steinfeld's a good. Yeah, give me Lamar in a must win. Give me the Ravens in a must win. I think obviously not having George Pickens, who was pretty crucial as far as big time catches in the first game, that not having them is going to be it's going to hurt them. And like you said, the Baltimore Ravens' best part of the defense is the run defense. So I would like to think that we can stop that initial onslaught from the Steelers. So we'll see.
We'll see. I think this might be your last.
Yeah, this is my last one. We got the
Good one to end
Giants
on.
going to the
baby.
Michael Penix led Atlanta
Let's go.
Falcons.
Michael Penis.
Let me kick it off
Penis Jr.
Let's do it really quick. Michael Penix goes 1-0. Giants are just terrible across the board. There's not really a bright spot for them. Give me the Atlanta Falcons at home, and also a must win for the division.
It's a must win. They're playing for something. The Giants. I mean, I'll keep it short. Like you said, congratulations to Mr. Penis. He's 1-0.
This team is a joke. I mean, okay, I will say at this point, I don't know what the hell Brian Daboll's doing. I don't know if it's just the injuries at quarterback being week in and week out, but I believe Drew Lock is starting this week, and I think they're just flip flopping at this point. I think Danny DeVito started 3 weeks ago. Drew Lock 2 weeks ago. Last week it was Danny DeVito, and now it's Drew Lock again. What the hell are you
Well,
doing?
fuck it. Someone's got to win.
How do you okay, but you're asking your receivers to go out there and play with different guys every week.
The quarterbacks are assuming you make any mistake, you're getting benched the next week. No matter what.
I just think it sets up a poor
Yeah.
precedent. I think you pay Drew Lock. You got to see what you got.
The Giants' leading quarterback or leading passer last week against the Ravens was Tim Boyle.
Oh, GOAT. Wow.
That puts their season.
I forgot
I'm
Tim
pretty
Boyle.
sure I'm pretty sure he tried out as a tight end like 2 seasons
I
ago.
can't believe Tim Boyle's still in the NFL. I'm not. What?
Chasing
for
a bag.
me- For me, it's a joke. I think
Go.
I know Brian Daboll. I believe he's a good coach,
Well,
but I think the situation is just toast.
Former coach of the year, no?
You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta get rid of it.
yeah,
I
Mike
think you
Tomlin's
gotta
never won one of those.
hit the reset button.
You've heard me rant about Coach of the Year awards. So.
So give me the Falcons.
Oh, yeah, Falcons. I mean,
Oh yeah.
there's not much else we could say. I mean, Giants are terrible. One of the most dysfunctional teams in the NFL, and it's not just this year. It's been multiple years.
Yeah.
It all started Hard Knocks. So, yeah, give me Falcons. Give me Falcons.
Guys, this could go really bad because we almost agreed, all of us, on all four except for your Steelers pick. We could look real bad.
Or we could
Or we
all
could
beat
look
AJ.
really smart.
Or genius.
And he looks like the auto now.
Boy,
Well, unless I
I'll go with
change
that.
because he made such good points about Lamar sucking against the Steelers.
Hey, and they lost to the Raiders at home this year. I will say that.
Okay.
you're gonna lose some games. You
That
want to
was
go ahead
like
and give
week
us the next
2.
four?
That was week 2.
The Raiders.
Yeah. And then we. And
Hey,
then
but
we
Gardner Minshew is still QB, and don't you ever slander
then we
Gardner
beat-
Minshew.
And then we beat the Bills by 35 points.
Gardner Minshew's a Pro Bowler.
We beat Josh Allen by 35 points. Yeah, exactly. Josh Allen's a bum.
And you lost to a Steelers team where they didn't score a touchdown.
That's impressive, to be honest.
That's it.
Justin Tucker forgot how to kick a football this season.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that's
not,
right.
That's not their problem.
Well,
That's the Raiders'
give us
problem.
the next four.
All right, we got the Cardinals. I think we're starting to see shades of post Black Ops Kyler going into Carolina. I'll let you start this one off. Where you
Just
go with
so-
this one?
Just
Gross.
absolutely no viewership on this game. Give me the Cardinals.
I agree. No viewership. I'm gonna go Carolina.
Oh shit!
Wait, I want Carolina too. I thought I was going to be the only one. Carolina just lost the Cowboys, so Cowboys are back. But Cardinals have looked bad. If I like every time you think the Cardinals are going to win and put themselves in position, they lose, and now they're falling behind the Rams. They're still behind the Seahawks. So give me the Panthers.
I've been beating this drum for a long time. The Cardinals defense blows. I've been calling them Swiss cheese for.
You're gonna see 2 pick sixes this week now.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't know if Bryce Young's capable.
Buda
of
Baker
that.
just got his extension. Maybe he goes off.
I was surprised they paid him. I thought they were gonna trade him.
Their record is 7-7 on the year, the Cardinals, and I'm pretty sure when I'm picking their games, I'm about 2-10 or 2-12 when I pick their games. So I'm gonna pick them this week, and then we'll probably see the Panthers win. So
Sweet. So let's go.
We need the
or winning.
Panthers. We need the
I'm taking
Panthers.
the Cardinals. And this game was actually surprisingly close the first time around. We got the Tiger, Jesus.
Detroit, though.
Wrong
Okay.
score.
Wrong score.
We'll spin it for Detroit
Sorry,
this week.
seeing him at 4 is still pissing me off. All right. You see the Lions going into Chicago to face a struggling Bears team who did not get the coach bump.
No.
I'll give this one to you, Brian. Who do you think wins this one?
Listen, dude, I don't care. When it's the Bears, it could be the Bears or the Giants. I think are the two that kind of line up. If you're playing, I'm picking the other team. They suck, and the Lions can have all the injuries they want. Caleb Williams, he has promise, but he sits back there. I think he has the most sacks taken while he's had more than 5 seconds of protection.
Wow, that's impressive.
So he's and unfortunately one of the things him coming out of college is he's not going to be able to do the shit that he did at USC, which was unbelievable to watch. Which was he would just stay up, move around somehow, and then find a guy open. I mean, last week he did it. And then he
I was gonna
turned
say.
around and hucked it on the other side
He-
of the field. It was
I think it
almost
was.
a
I think it was 2 spin moves, a hurdle for somebody diving behind him, jump throw, 70 yards across for a 20-yard pass.
You're about
Yeah.
down here. Team Brian. Let's go.
The difference is, by the way, the
Wow.
difference is when he was at USC, he had Addison, who could just go dump up and moss that dude because he's playing some bum from like
I'm getting flashbacks of him holding up his Heisman. Oh my god.
I just really hope. I actually kind of like Caleb, and I did draft him in our dynasty. I'm really hoping that Caleb isn't one of those guys that we're like, holy shit, he's one of the most electric college football players ever, but couldn't transfer over to
Sounds like he went to
the
USC.
NFL. Well, but also they're not doing him any favors by getting rid of the coach, getting rid of the coordinators. Now he's going to be on his third offense in 3 years between USC, this offense for Chicago, and next offense.
I think he has 3 OCs for the Bears alone. No, I'm pretty sure for the Bears alone.
I think everyone outside of Ryan Poles' office knew that Matt Eberflus should have been fired before the season started.
Yeah.
And somehow he was the coach to start the year.
Oh yeah, I mean, Poles probably should not be there either.
They're 0-8 since they had the Hail Mary. Yeah.
Wow.
That's like, and by the way, weren't they like you said 0-8? I was about to say, weren't they like 4-2 when that happened?
Yeah,
too? They were pretty
absolutely.
good.
Yeah, Caleb was the best rookie quarterback at that time. He had the most wins out of all the rookie quarterbacks.
That's crazy. I'm gonna take the Lions.
Yeah. In short.
Yeah, in short.
It'll be interesting to see if Caleb can have a decent game, but I know you're talking about his sacks over 5 seconds. He's also approaching the sacks for a rookie. So David Carr has it at like 70. Caleb Williams is going to get that extra 17th game. I think he's a really good shot of breaking that rookie record. So I'm rooting for it. I'm hoping he gets it.
He had the most picks in an NFL season as a rookie, so you can always bounce back.
But yeah, I mean, even though the Lions don't have the same defense they did to start the year,
They also can't get
Caleb just. I mean, I don't know much about the quarterback position as a like what you're supposed to do, but I know every time I watch Caleb Williams, he stands there and doesn't move, and then runs back and forth. Like
he moves a lot.
it seems like he's trying to do too much.
Give
give me the Lions. Give me the Lions.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give me the Lions. I don't see. I mean, I could see this could be a good numbers game for Caleb just because the Lions are having the really banged up defense. But the best part of the Bears was supposed to be that defense, and it's just kind of been a bit of a shell of itself, as the season's gone on. So give me the Lions easily winning.
Sonic revenge game for Knuckles. We're seeing Gibbs go for 200. Give me the Lions.
Ooh.
Crazy.
Alrighty.
I'll bet it.
The Battle of Ohio. We got the Browns, who have no more Jameis Winston at quarterback. It will be led by UCLA alum Dorian Thompson-Robinson going into Cincinnati. I'm going to let you start this one off, Cody.
I don't think DTR is going to do anything. I don't care how bad the Bengals defense is.
He went to UCLA, of course.
Let's be honest. Who are the UCLA quarterbacks recently? It's him.
Josh Rosen.
Oh yeah, thanks for helping.
Rosen
Josh
one.
Rosen. I feel like there was another one.
Brett Hundley.
Thank you, Hundley. So nothing, absolutely nothing from UCLA.
Troy Aikman.
I
Sorry.
love that sports teams.
Oh yeah, we got to go back to the '90s to get Troy Aikman. But yeah, give me the Bengals. Joe Burrow 300-yard game.
Yeah.
I think that there was a possibility that listen, when Jameis Winston steps onto the football field, there's always a possibility you're winning the game.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's the Giants where they should win, or if it's the Chiefs or the Lions where they definitely shouldn't win. There's always a possibility. They got rid of that possibility. There's no fucking way I'm taking the Browns after benching Jameis Winston. He prayed to the good Lord for no more pick sixes. Hey, and the good Lord delivered. He still threw picks.
No pick sixes.
The good Lord did deliver with no more.
The monkey's palm.
Maybe he should have prayed for no more picks. That might have been the better option because you can't give up pick sixes if you don't throw
I
picks.
think you're asking for miracles at that point.
Well, the LASIK unfortunately didn't help. I'm gonna take the Bengals. Their offense is unbelievable.
Yeah, give me the Bengals as well. And another easy game. I think Jamar secures the offensive player of the year in this game. Throws up another
Really? With Saquon?
with Saquon.
Ooh.
I think say he catches 2 touchdowns this game, I think that puts him at 17 on the year. So
He's receiver triple crown right now, and yeah, he's approaching that touchdown record.
Well, fun fact: receiver triple crown we just did see does not mean you win the best receiver award. So
That's another argument.
Different league.
All right, I think that was a clean sweep of us going with the Bengals there, especially no more Jameis, no more fun. My last game here, we're going to go with the Titans going into Indianapolis. We got the honorary Colts fan here. Let's start off, Ryan.
I I could go. I talk way too much on the show, anyways, so I'm gonna keep this one short. Even though I could passionately go into the Colts, they got a lot of problems. We talked about it earlier. I'm still gonna take the Colts. I don't think Will Levis is playing anymore.
Nope. It's Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, see, exactly.
Tis the season.
Tis the season. Although Mason Rudolph will win a random game,
Yeah.
but it ain't gonna be this one. Hopefully, I'll take the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, he wins the random games when Mike Tomlin is his coach.
That part.
That's fair.
So,
You know what, Callahan?
so that's it. I mean, Mason Rudolph's quarterback. I mean, if Will Levis is quarterback, he's throwing 4 picks. So maybe only 2 picks with Mason Rudolph.
Still electric football.
He had negative fantasy points last week. Really impressive starting quarterback. So I'm gonna take the Colts on this one.
He had his ex in the stands. I don't think that was very fair. She brought his aura down. Yeah, give me the Colts in this one.
Give me the Titans.
I hate you.
Calvin Ridley season.
I am with Calvin Ridley on
I'm
my
taking the
fantasy
fucking
team
Steelers
in the
now.
playoffs. I'm hoping for a huge Mason Rudolph to Calvin Ridley connection.
Yeah, because they're down by 30.
Exactly.
What do you mean exactly?
But
You just took the Titans.
no. Give me the Titans because I just think the Colts are bad, and this seems like a game that the Colts will lose just cause. Yeah, sue me.
I will. I'm taking the Steelers.
Good. Then you'll be wrong and me and Cody will be right. Never mind. Cody jumps.
I haven't
too.
changed yet. I haven't changed yet. All right, I'm going to be taking the next set of 4 here. We still got 10 a.m. games on Sunday. First one we're going to be looking at is the Rams going to the Jets. Brian, do you want to go first on this one?
I don't know why, at least mentally, this seems like a weird game. The Jets always play really well, and then in the past, they've seemed to fall off. Their defense looked pretty good. Their defense has the capability of being really good. And for some reason, I don't know if the Rams forgot that like Cooper Kupp exists in their offense.
Yeah, I did lose a fantasy game. Anyway.
That is unfortunate. Thank God I was on bye. But
Same.
I think that this is going to be a bounce back game for Cooper Kupp. I think Cooper Kupp's going to. I think he's gonna light it up. I'm gonna take the Rams away at MetLife. I think the Rams would also take a victory not getting somebody hurt with the division. They're leading the division now.
Yeah.
So this game really means something.
Mhm.
They're battling with the Seahawks and kind of the Cardinals.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take the Rams.
I would love to just see Kyren get going again, at least get in the end zone. He actually had 106 yards rushing quietly last week, I felt like, which to me kind of surprised me when I looked back and I was like, oh shit, wait, he rushed for 100 yards. I think it would be good to see him get back in the end zone, take some of that stress off of Stafford down in the red zone. But I mean, when you got Puka and Cooper Kupp down there, it's hard not to trust those guys, especially Puka going up there, toe tapping, with one of the best catches of the season. But yeah, I think even though we did see the Jets look good last week, it was against the Jags.
Yep.
That is a big disclaimer.
Go.
Not helping the cause.
Go.
Yeah, I do like the Rams, and especially after they've gotten healthy, I really do like what they're bringing, and I think they got good momentum.
I think the Rams are a team you don't want to see in the playoffs.
Exactly.
Yeah, give me the Rams too in a must-win. One must-win game tied with the Seahawks at 8-6 in the division. I mean, the last 3 games are really must-wins for both of them. So,
Oh yeah, definitely.
give me the Rams away. I think the Jets are just definitely lackluster this
Oh,
season.
Yeah, I'm gonna make mine quick then too. And mine's because Stafford's night and day when Kupp and Puka are playing and when they're not playing.
Mhm.
And you said Puka made the best catch of the year, toe tap. I think if you watch the Rams play, he has at least one of those every single game. At least one. Oh my God, that's the catch of the year. Against the 49ers, it was the behind the helmet grab
Yeah.
in the week before. So I'm gonna take the Rams on this one just because you got Puka and Kupp. Stafford can do no wrong. All right, the next game, we got the Eagles going to the, almost said Redskins, Commanders. almost. I caught myself.
Almost, and
AJ,
then he said it.
well, I had to let you know what was on my mind.
It's okay. I almost
The
said it
commies.
earlier.
So we got the Eagles going to the commies.
Just as bad.
Their name.
Yeah, you're right.
AJ, why don't you take the lead on this one?
I think this is a big game for the Eagles. I think only because this would secure the division at this point with the win. Put them 3 games over with 2 games left. We did see Saquon get a little banged up last week. I think he ended up being okay. But I think you win this and you maybe decide to give him some rest. Accolades are the only one he's really going to care about is the Super Bowl at the end of the year. So I think the season stats, he's going to look back and think I had a great season regardless of what my number said. So I think the Eagles are going to play hungry this game. Give me the Eagles this week.
Also give me the Eagles. I think when you think about a team that's firing on all cylinders at the right time, the Eagles are that team. Just look at that defense. They're the number 1 defense in the league. They allow 17.6 points a game, which is just crazy. So, yeah, give me the Eagles in a nice division game.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Whenever your team's capable of holding another team to 2 possessions for an entire half, I'm taking your team.
Wow.
I'm going to take the Eagles. The Steelers had 2 possessions the entire second half.
That's 2-run heavy teams right there.
The last drive for the Eagles, there was still 12 minutes left on the clock, or like 10 minutes left on the clock, and they ended with the ball.
Gross.
They just need out the rest of the clock. It was like a 10-minute, 21 play drive or something like
Wow, that is
And
horrid.
still put up almost 30 points.
that. So, yeah.
So I think you said Eagles are firing on all cylinders, and I think it's because this is the point last year where they fell apart with the Cowboys sneak in. So Nick Sirianni's making sure this does not happen this year. You're going to see a team, they're going to finish possibly 14-3 to end this year. So I'm going to take the Eagles on this one as well. All right, the next game, this is the Seahawks have to win this game, but I don't know if they have their good chance here. We got the Vikings going into Seattle. So Red, would you like to take the lead here?
Yeah, of course. Looking at it, the 12-2 Sam Darnold-led Vikings. If you were to say that sentence last season, I would have laughed at your face. But they're going against Seattle, who are obviously in a must-win situation to gain control of that, or at least maintain control of that lead in the division. I just think that Seattle's getting unlucky. They're playing the better team compared to the Rams this week. So give me the very hot Minnesota Vikings.
This game is in Seattle, but according to reports the last few weeks, Seattle has been very gettable on a fan side. Apparently, it's not exactly what it used to be when it comes to fans at the stadium. I heard a lot of "Go Packers, Go Pack, Go" the other day. That never happens in Seattle. Minnesota, this is arguably, you said Seattle must-win game. This is arguably a must-win game for Minnesota, too. They're still in the battle for the division.
Absolutely.
And by the way, that's 3 great teams for the division because they still need to play the Packers again.
Yep.
And the Packers are right on their ass. I think actually are the Packers.
Packers week 17.
Yeah.
And they played Lions week.
Packers right
Packers
now?
are 10-4.
10-4. Okay, so maybe it's a little bit of an outside chance if the Packers win, but if the Vikings lose this
Certainly
game,
the Vikings.
and then the Packers beat the Vikings again, then they're right on your
I mean,
ass.
say the chance that the Vikings lose out the last 2 or 3, or they lose 2 out of the last 3 weeks, and the Lions win 2 or lose 2 out of the last 3 weeks, and the Packers win 2 out of the last 3 weeks. Packers win that division.
Exactly. So there's a lot of meaningful football in that division, and I think the Vikings really feel it. Obviously, the Seattle Seahawks also very meaningful. It's looking like you either win the division or you don't go into the playoffs. But I'm going to take Minnesota.
Yeah. I'll go real quick. I think AJ still has talk. But Geno Smith has not been the same. Ryan Flores' defense, they might score 2 touchdowns.
They might.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker has not been playing. I know Charbonnet has been really excelling these last couple of weeks, but I mean, they excelled when they had 2 running backs that were above average. Now you lose Kenneth Walker. You're going up against a top defense, and Sam Darnold's just kind of figured out a way to target Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and be the first-round talent that everybody thought he was going to be. So I'm going to take the Vikings here.
Yeah. Just keep it short. Obviously, I'm a UCLA homer. But I think when Charbonnet's taking the ball 8 times and rushing for 54 yards, that's on average over 6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
I don't know why he has 8 carries last week. Plain and simple. And especially with Geno going out, if you're going to stack the box against Sam Howell, it's going to be an ugly game. I think that defense is going to eat them up. Whoever's at quarterback. Give me the Vikings.
I think Sam Howell might be the first quarterback I've ever seen come into a game and get sacked 3 straight times.
All right, last game from my slate. I'll take the lead after I say it. We got Patriots and Drake May going into Buffalo. Drake May is really good, so he might have himself a game. Here's the problem: is Buffalo's probably going to put up 40 in this one, and so I'm just going to keep it nice and short. Give me the Bills.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I looked at the future schedule. However you feel between Lamar and Josh, it might be RIP to Lamar's hopes of being MVP because the Bills close out Patriots, Jets, Patriots, and the Ravens close out Steelers. Damn it! I just looked at it. It's Steelers, Texans, and then Cleveland. Cleveland's obviously a gettable game, but you would assume that Josh Allen's going to go for another 4 or 5 this game. He has like 10 touchdowns, no turnovers in the last 2 games or something like that. He's been unbelievable, and that's just gonna get even more insane with this Patriots team. Patriots have good flashes. Gonzalez on the outside, their corner very good. Drake May looks like he's a future star, future franchise quarterback. But they got a lot of questions everywhere else. I'm gonna take the Red Hots. And I'll also say if Josh Allen's on the team, I'm taking. So give me the Bills.
You know the motto.
You can go.
No, sorry.
Bills.
Good talk.
In short, I was gonna say James Cook goes for probably 3 touchdowns this game. Give me the Bills.
I hope so.
Wow. 3 tuggies? You think that he even gets to do that?
Their rushing defense is awful. Did you see what James Conner did to them last week?
That's fine, but I think that I'd argue that James Cook would only get 1 because Josh Allen's going to run the other 2.
There's going to be 4 rushing touchdowns in this game. That's all I got to say.
All right, we have because of the way the division works, we have very meaningful football for one of these teams. The 49ers are traveling to Miami to play the Dolphins. So do you want to lead us off for this one?
I can. I really have no idea who's going to win this game. I'm not. This is. We joke about it all the time. Battle of mid. This feels as battle of the mid as you could possibly get. So I guess I'll take the better coach. I have no idea. I'm going to go with the 49ers here. But if you know what I said. They can't beat good teams. So I don't think they're good. I'm still taking the 49ers.
Are under 500, so Mike McDaniel is at an advantage.
Mike Cook. But yeah, just to keep it plain and short, I think this is where the master shows his student. Give me Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers.
Yeah, like Cody said, it is just these are the games that no one's gonna watch. I mean, give me the 49ers. Couldn't tell you by how much.
You know what? Only because I want to be different, and we picked a lot of the same ones this time. I'm gonna take Dolphins. Literally, I have no reason other than the fact that we've
been pretty similar.
So similar in almost every single one.
It's a lopsided week though.
I'll take the Dolphins. All right, here we go. This is a game that you have to turn on. Don't watch.
Must watch.
Listen,
Mac Jones seasons.
Don't watch. Wow, I'm looking at it right here. All these afternoon games are pretty bad, except for the Minnesota Vikings and the Seahawks. We have the Mac Jones led Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to the city of sin to play the Aiden O'Connell still.
I think Desmond Ritter. I think O'Connell's
Ritter,
done.
Even better. Desmond Ritter led Raiders. AJ, go ahead. Pick this one. This is 50-50 according to
Mac Jones is the kind of guy that'll get you a first round pick in Dynasty. And for the people that might watch this, you know who you are. BTJ season, give me the Jags.
2 first round.
Yeah, give me the Jags as well. Brian Thomas has looked really good, especially last week. Had a really good week.
He doesn't need another one.
This is just so gross. Yeah, give me the Jags. The Raiders are taking for Shador.
I wish you guys let me take the lead because I was going to say I'm going to take the Jags because of Brian Thomas Jr. And then both of you just said the exact same thing. So I'm going to take the Jags because of Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne because the Raiders don't have a good rush defense, but they don't have a good anything. So I'll take the Jags here.
I'm not going to be different on this one. I don't like the Raiders at all. They don't have Max Crosby. They don't have anybody.
They do feel like they're tanking for
Max, no aura.
No, nothing. Give me the Jaguars. All right. We have the Buccaneers going to Dallas, Gary World, to play the Dallas Cowboys. This is your favorite team?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So this is one of the games when Dak went down, I said, oh my God, the next month and a half is going to suck because they have so many primetime games.
Yeah.
Here's one of those primetime games. Now, thankfully, they're going up against a fun team in Baker Mayfield. Cooper Rush kind of threw some dimes last week. Cooper Rush kind of threw some dimes last week. So
if Cooper Rush played for any other team,
listen, I was
He's the Andy Dalton from freaking Wish.
I was pro Trey Lance. I was pro Trey Lance.
Yes, that's saying something.
I was pro Trey Lance because I wanted to see him run around and throw a bunch of interceptions. All right.
Oh, so you wanted to be a Colts fan?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but now Cooper Rush is kind of. We've got
shit, they're both 6 and 8.
Rico Dowdle back-to-back 100-yard games.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened since
UCLA alum.
Shut up.
Cooper Rush throwing dimes. CeeDee Lamb top 3 in receptions and receiving yards. The weapons are there. Micah Parsons.
Are you serious? Is that a confirmed stat?
Oh,
Top 3?
At least top 5. I'll tell you that right now.
No way.
Okay, now give me a second. NFL receiving.
No, not yards. Judy's 3.
Oh, he's ahead of Judy.
No way.
I'll put my job on this.
Oh boy.
What did he go for last week?
Well, this is not
CeeDee Lamb 3rd in receiving yards
behind Jettas and
behind Jettas and Chase.
That line has to be so tight. I'm not even gonna say what his line
He is 33 ahead of St. Brown and 37 ahead of Judy. But
He's not even
top 3.
4-3.
Boom. I know
Boom.
my
All
stuff.
knowledge.
Cowboys. All right, go on. Give me the Cowboys.
Go on. Oh, I was about to
Give
say,
me the
go on.
Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys.
NFL IG let me down. I could have sworn I saw he was 3. Yeah, I liked what the Bucs did last week. I think they're getting that fire back, and Bucky Irving's a dog. So, as Brian liked to say, those linebackers are small. He's
Run
going to
the
run
ball,
for
baby.
another 100.
They are. They are small, but we do have a
Give me
rookie
Bucs.
who's coming up. So
Yeah, give me the Bucks as well. Cowboys just aren't good at home, and Bucks are a must-win. So, give me the Bucks.
Give me the Bucks.
I can't wait to get a game on all you guys Sunday night.
All right, we have the Monday Night Football game. Unfortunately, this also isn't the best game. We have the Saints.
How does this not get flexed out? What is going on here?
Well, what would get flexed in? It'd have to be an afternoon game from Sunday. I guess Minnesota, Seattle.
They could have done.
But Seattle's coming off of a.
What about Philly?
I was gonna say they could have done Philly, but I don't know. What the
I thought there was a rule that it has to be an afternoon game.
Yeah, I don't know if that's.
Oh.
I thought.
Well-
I could very well be wrong. I don't know.
I don't know.
But all right, we have the New Orleans Saints traveling to Green Bay. Play the Packers. Red. I don't know if you've let us off this entire time. Go ahead.
Yeah, give me the Packers at home. Like we mentioned earlier when talking about the Vikings game, Packers just need to keep winning and hope one of the other teams loses to try to, gain that lead on the division. It seems like playoffs is in their future, but let's just keep winning, and they have an easy game against the Saints. Jake Hayner led Saints.
Oh,
I thought it was Rattler again.
Doesn't matter.
What is
Spencer
it?
Rattler. Don't matter.
R.I.P. AK.
God, I hope he plays. I need him.
They're gonna stack 10 people in that, but they might put all 11 guys in the box.
I need the AK that had like 10 catches, 12 catches from last season.
It's not gonna happen. I can't even throw the fucking football.
But yeah, I think we're going to see Josh Jacobs eat.
Again.
give me the Packers.
Playing bad teams just keeps running the ball over and over again. Yeah, Packers. Jordan Love, better quarterback. Josh Jacobs, better running back, better defense, better coach.
Offense.
Better be.
Just a gross game on Monday night. So I'll be watching this game probably because of betting reasons only.
Yeah.
Betting reasons.
Fun game to bet on.
A little fun fact. After like week 10, both years Jordan Love has played, he's thrown 17 touchdowns and only 2 picks.
Toyotathon Love. No?
Toyotathon Love. This is Toyotathon Love.
Wow.
And I'll tell you what, because he throws a lot of picks in those first 10 weeks. But not a whole lot after. When football games get tight, it seems like he kind of steps up. And we also, I don't even know, the Saints play in a dome, and they got to travel to a place that's not exactly going to be very
Might be 20 degrees.
very warm.
I think that's on the warm side.
This could be Packer. This could be a game that the only reason you're watching is because you hammered the Green Bay Packers over.
Mm-hmm.
The over might hit just because of the Packers. I'll take the
This is
Packers.
very well a good chance.
Taysom Hill was playing, I'd give it a little bit closer, but R.I.P. Taysom Hill too. Damn it,
Hall of
man.
Famer Taysom Hill.
Shohei Ohtani of
Excuse
football.
I think I said that last time I was here too. Hall of Famer Taysom
Hall
Hill.
of Famer Taysom.
I'm pretty sure I said that last time I was here.
That's gross.
That's,
Talk to me in 10 years when he's in the Hall of Fame.
he's not going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Hey.
He's not going to be in the
If
Hall
there's
of
a utility position.
All right, dude. I don't know what to tell you
spot.
guys. You think the Packers are going over 42? Hi.
I don't know what the Packers score. The Saints are going to get more than like, I think the Packers could score over 30.
And then the
I think
Saints gotta
could
get
like 10.
Touchdown in the
Like
first
14
half.
probably.
Garbage
No,
garbage
Rattler
time
did.
TD in the second.
We'll see.
Well, you think Rattler and Garbage?
No, they
could throw a
suck,
TD?
dude. They're terrible.
Spencer Rattler, I'm surprised. I'm not going to lie to you. He was so bad at South Carolina.
South Carolina.
That I'm surprised he even has a job.
Alrighty, guys, that's gonna do it for our Week 16 pick this week. Comment, let us know if you agree or disagree with some of our takes. I know we had some hot takes in here, and let us know what you think of some of the offseason signings that we had from MLB as well. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us. Have a great night.